Boom, and that is that red light that I like to see. Hello, everyone. I am Paul Wizzo, and before we meet our guest, got a few announcements I'd like to cover. I want to send a thank you out to all my subscribers and supporters. I appreciate your support. If you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, the link is in the description, as I said, or it's strolling right across the bottom of the screen. But make sure you hit that notification bell because I post to my guest availability rather than on a fixed schedule. So we may be on a Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever. So just make sure you hit that notification bell so you can get that notification. And remember, it's absolutely free, 100% free to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate your support. I'm always on the lookout for guests to be on Wizzo Talk. So if you'd like to be a guest, send me a message on Paul Wizzo on Facebook Messenger. Send me a smoke signal, carrier pigeon, or whatever you got to do to get me the message, and we'll get you on the show. And don't worry about a topic, because I got plenty of them. I'm just trying to tell you. You can also find Wizzo Talk on Spotify. You just check it out and listen to it on Spotify. I've included the link for my Wizzo Talk merch, and I just be creating all kind of shit. So if y'all like to check out that, look in the description, and you'll find that Wizzo Talk merch. Those are your announcements. Take due notice thereof and govern yourselves accordingly. I don't know why I say that shit, y'all. Let's meet our guest. Come on, Mr. Rico. What you got for us?
Hey, man, what's going on? Thank Mr. Wizzo for bringing me back on. And y'all always remember I'm from the podcast If Relationships Could Talk, all the major platforms. Or if you just want some of Rico, rhyme with Rico on all the major platforms. Oh, get some of that Wizzo Talk merch.
That's what's up. All right, come on, 7 points.
This your boy 7 Points of Bliss, aka the Pomegranate Samurai, man. Much bliss. If you want to check out some of my my merchandise, you can Google After Real Truth, all one word. I'm on all major platforms, Instagram, Facebook, all that. You can check me out on Spotify under Cosmic Currency 777. You want to check out anything I got to say, man. Thanks. It's an honor to be here with you, gentlemen.
Already, that's what's up. That's what's up. Come on now, Jason. What you got for us?
Jason, just me, no links, no, just support Wizzo Talk, man. And I tell people all the time, same thing about, supporting Black media outside of a local platform. If you got Black media on Netflix or something like that, let it play in the background while you clean it and put it on mute, put you some music on, but make sure you hit the like, you know what I mean? So we can support each other. Just because something ain't necessarily for you don't mean you can't support it and help boost it up. So if you seeing this right now, if you hearing Wizzo Talk and you supporting anything about Black media, then just hit a like and move on about your business if you want to, or stick around and have fun with us.
All right, that's what's up. I appreciate that. PM, what you got for us?
Man, what to do, man? It's your boy PM, man. Falon McKnight with the PM Lifestyle Podcast, man. Back on Wizzo Talk. It's an honor, especially to be on here with all the guests, man. I appreciate you guys for even having me, man. So, yeah, y'all lock in, man. Let's see what we're going to do today.
All right. That's what's up. Chocolate Buddha.
Man, Chocolate Buddha, a.k.a. your world favorite All-American. And I'm going to go ahead and double tap what Jason said. Don't even be up here if you ain't supporting. And right. Man, look, if y'all vote and you say your vote count, your damn like count. Get on any one of these brothers' profile, like, subscribe. If you washing dishes, have it play in the background. If you taking a shit, let it go ahead and play till you come back. Let that shit run because those numbers matter. If we really talking about supporting each other and supporting Black excellence, let's put proof to the pudding. Like it, share it. Put it out there because that's what I'm doing. If you want to know what Chocolate Buddha is, I'm going to put it to you like this. Go to they shit and you'll find me. Support the peace. Support the fam. Let's go, Wizzo.
Yeah, that's real talk, guys. All of us on here right now has been extremely supportive of one another. I mean, from buying one another's merch. I know that any one of you guys I can send a link to or whatever, and you're going to give me your word, and word is bond, and you're going to be on the show, and that's no doubt about it. I will like to make sure that I dry. Y'all excuse me sometimes because I get to read the comments and reading other shit. So draw your attention to the comments. Y'all already know. It'll be look like Miss Cree's up in there. Appreciate you tapping in there, Cree, if you still right there. But before I get to my topic, how men see women. Y'all know in the barbershop, we all kind of work the room. We all kind of come up with a little something different and get ready to just set it off. You never know what's going to be. It's going to be uncut, unedited, unscripted, unrehearsed. all that unshit. They ain't got no underwear on that motherfucker. So I'm just saying. So with that being said, let me come to. I gotta come to PM right quick.
Sure.
PM, I know you the barber. You up there cutting them up. I don't think people getting the chili bows and hot top fades and all that no more. It's probably a bunch of new names for them. But as a barber, and I think I explained to you once before that Barbershop Talk, this title came along by Chocolate Buddha, gave me this name. But you as a barber, you have multiple clients come in, they're sitting in your chair. How do you spark that conversation? You got the first guy come up in there. Let's say Jason come up in there. First time up in there. How you gonna shoot at him or whatever? You know, what type of conversation you sub to bring up? Just
I'm not
curious.
asking where he's from. I gotta kind of feel out where he's from first. I'm asking where he's from, let him lead. He gonna tell me where he's from. And then I'm so, used to knowing, so many people, but definitely know where to go next. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna kind of feel him out. So it really depends on what that person says after that.
Right. Okay. Kind of get a feel for him and whatever it
Yeah.
is, kind of go from there.
I gotta feel the details because he might be somebody I can't go too crazy with as far as the conversation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Might be a little too squarish, or he might just be all the way in. He from the moment he pop off, I'm gonna know on what I need to say
All
because I
right.
got to keep it professional at all times. But I'm definitely down for any conversation.
All right. That's what's up. That's what's up. And y'all see there what Cree talking about? Don't start no bullshit, no BS up in there. I say, you say, Cree,
Hey,
go ahead, Chocolate.
let me just say something to Cree right quick. Hey, Cree, I saw your interview, Cree. Don't you be talking about not starting no bullshit, Cree.
Hey, tell her
And
I
I'm
want
gonna
to be
say
your
this,
close
man.
friend,
We
Creed.
love you, Cree.
Yeah.
Y'all off the chain. Let me come to Seven because I know Seven be cutting them up too. Seven, somebody sit down in the chair. What's the conversation like? You got to get the feel to them for. Also, or do you just come right at the gun, from the hip, gun it?
Not like my man PM said, pretty much you just want to get a feel for where they from. So I just ask them like their background, like how long they've been in Texas, where they born and raised here, because that really them telling you like where they're from really gives you a really a good hold on their mentality. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Different states means different states of mind. So when you begin to see what a person's origin is, you get to understand everything they've been through. Like when I talk to people here from Texas, like in Temple, Texas, it's and you can tell like they be trying hard, you know what I'm saying, to seem like they didn't live their life of struggle. It's not the same way as like talking to somebody from Chicago or Detroit. It's the people that have been through something, you know.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. All right, appreciate that. So before I'm gonna save my topic, which y'all know, usually when we're doing barbershop talk, usually I don't put out what I'm going to talk about, but I put out this time how men really see women. But I'm gonna pump the brakes on that for a minute because we have a couple of guests that's got to get off early, and y'all know I like to make sure everybody get a chance to bring up a little bit of topic. So I'm gonna come up to Rico and let him throw something out there in the barbershop. We're gonna sit back and they're gonna first. PM, did they still put that little white tissue around your neck when you get a haircut?
Oh yeah, that's mandatory. That stops from different diseases, not diseases, but stuff that you might have. So it helps the cape go from person to person. You know what I mean? So somebody might have it just came from running track or something like that. So you have to put that on around the neck. It's a requirement. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
I'm glad you said that because I never knew. I'm like, what the hell he put that damn little old piece of toilet paper around my neck for? It ain't doing shit, but now I know. So,
Yeah.
Just so
all right,
hair can't get in there, right?
I mean, the cape is gonna be sealed enough, but it's really just imagine if you went jogging and then somebody came in, somebody else was in the weight room, somebody came in, somebody else was
Oh, I got you.
doing something else. You know what I mean? You don't want that to transfer to you and cause you skin problems or scabies or anything like that. Even when we comb the hair, when the person's sitting in the chair, it ain't just to be combing your hair. We checking for lice, anything that might be, going through the hair that we need to check out before we tell you we can't even cut you. But
Oh, okay.
we are able to turn down cuts too.
yeah, that's what's up. That's good to know. Okay, like I said, before I get off into my point, how men really see women, I see we have on Facebook probably watching about like 8 people right now. So if y'all like to send any comments in, please post your comments in the chat and we will see about getting to them and I'll post them on the screen. With that being said, let me come up to Rico. Rico, what you got for us while we sitting in this barbershop?
Man, I have a topic for y'all because,
Bring it.
man, look, fellas, when it comes to the ladies, how do you deal with most women's inability to accept responsibility when they're wrong or anything. It's so frustrating. I mean, I just don't understand it. Like, why is it that they can know they wrong, but they just can't say it? That drives me nuts. What do y'all do? I need help, because mine in the room over there. Yeah, man. The other man, I'm saying, man, I want, like, what the hell is wrong with you? Yeah.
Rico, you took mine.
Yeah. Oh, for real? Hey, like, for real, man. Like, I just don't get it, ladies. Somebody help me out, please. Why are all of y'all? I won't say all. I won't generalize, but a majority, 99.9% of y'all have that inability to accept responsibility. It's okay saying you're wrong and admit and say, okay, I apologize. For whatever reason, they have issues. How do you?
All right, well, let's start off with Jason then, shit, and then we'll work our way however. Jason, what you got on it?
My opinion, first of all, I stand in agreement.
Y'all deal with that.
Roger. First of all, I stand in agreement with the perception that the brothers have with women, and I am going to speak in general, because I feel like when we have these conversations, a lot of people, namely one part of the genders, right? They have a inability or unwillingness to separate themselves from logical conversation, to separate the emotion from it. If you don't separate emotion from certain things, then you have certain opinions. It's like when you've been drinking and you know you don't have control of all your faculties. You know what I'm saying? Your mind is not going to function the way that your better mind would have if you don't separate the emotion, which is why people always say stuff like don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion, because it's going to start an argument. The only reason it starts an argument is because most people, male or female, most people choose not to separate their emotion from those type of conversations, and they don't have logical thoughts and opinions when they don't do so, right? You have passionate arguments and passionate feelings about things. So I do agree, and I'll speak in general, that most women don't accept accountability for their actions, unless they're good actions, right? And I personally, the way that I handle it, that being the core of the question, I got a real quick knife, right? Like, if I'm talking to a lady and the first time she don't accept responsibility or accountability for something, or I hear, I'm real good about letting people just ramble, and she go about 2 or 3 life experiences, major life experiences, and her take on those life experiences do not show me clearly that she accepts or that she may have an inability to accept her own negative accountability for things. I'm done. We're not going to have, like Rico said, we're not going to have a situation where you're in another room. You know what I mean? Like, I'm real quick. I don't care if we 3 months in and I can have hearts in my eyes. You show me 2 or 3 bad traits that I know I'm going to have to lock down with for a long time, I'm out. And yes, I moved on. Yeah, I got a date tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm gone. I'm done with you. So I got a real quick knife, man. I cut people off. Boom. I got to move. Now, if I encounter a woman who I can tell is really trying to accept accountability, or her past and her decisions in life have shown that she is attempting to, on a regular basis, accept accountability. She understands the difference between when she did and when she didn't. And you can point out to her, hey, on this particular issue, you might not accept. And she willing to deal with that. Well, let's keep rolling. We can keep rolling, because nobody's perfect, right? But that's definitely one of the more harsh traits that as men that we have to deal with. So that's just my personal take on it and how I move with it.
Oh, okay. All right, that's what's up. Let me see about PM since you took that one. Rico gonna be right back. But PM, what you got on it?
And I'm like, Jason, I have a quick knife, but I recently seen a post on Facebook or something like that. Dude set his girl down, and he said, "My baby smart. She real smart." It had like 5 big words on there, over 10 letters. Right. First one she read off. The second word she read off. Third one she read off. When it got to that fourth one, it said sorry. She was going. She couldn't pronounce the word. You know what I'm saying? So accountability for women, bro. I believe they like low key baby narcissists. They gonna always put it back on you at some point.
Yeah.
If you ask them a direct question, they gonna say, "Well, the man said, well, you did." Let's talk about you. I mean, I think men have ownership, but some women, you know what I mean, they want to bring up a lot of the we real technical and just getting it over with. Let's tackle the conversation and get it over with. Some women just want to go through the struggle and the back and forth with it. I mean, so me personally, I'm like Jason. I got a quick knife. I'm gonna log in. What you saying? And see how, and I ain't gonna even gonna bring it up because I know y'all ain't gonna admit it most of the time. I'm just gonna log it, keep it in the file, and then use it to cut you off at the end of the day when I need to.
All right, women. If any women out there, I know the Creed 2-1 boom out there listening in. So let me see them comments. Bring them on in. Let me. Sam, we're gonna come to you next, but let me see what Chocolate Buddha got to say on it.
Well, y'all know the people that seen me before. I'm Mr. 0 for 3. I'm 55 years old. I definitely got a knife hand. I done cut off quite a few in my life, but at this stage, I'm not going to talk in generalities. I'm going to talk in experience. Right. And it's been my experience with women that they refuse to accept anything. So in my moment of chocolate Buddhism, I have adopted this thing of acceptance. I accept that you're not going to do it. I accept you're going to just stay hard in your emotions, and I'm just going to move forward. And I don't mean move forward and cut you off anymore, because like I said, I'm 0 for 3. I'm 55. I'm tired of it. So the wife I got right now is the wife I'm going to have unless, I'm going to get married to the stripper club. And that's how we're going to roll. She going to do what she do. Hey, actually, it's not. I got another story on that too. But that's another story for Wizzo Talks. But with the one we got right now, I'm just doing acceptance. She does it, and I know she's not going to take accountability for it. And I give her a kiss on the forehead and go sit down on the couch. And when she's trying to explain why she won't take responsibility on it, I tell her, babe, I'm watching the TV. I accept you. And then I watch TV.
You know what? I'm going to use that on mine. I'm going to say, I accept you for who you are.
Hey, bro, it's going to hurt her feelings, but you're going to feel so much better, man. Just look at dead in the eye and just say, I accept you.
I'm going to use that.
I accept you.
Hey,
know them when you see them.
Before we come to 7, I'm going to get a shout out to all of my viewers that's watching right now. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Keep the comments rolling on in. Amber, I'm not sure what you mean by not at all. Maybe we covered something. So if you could please post another a little bit more detail off in there to it, and we'll know what you're talking about. So 7, what's your take on it?
I find that for the most part, and I'm not saying that either gender doesn't have a problem with both, but for the most part, women have a very big problem with ego, and men have a problem with pride, right? A woman's accountability, her or the lack of women taking accountability for things, I find is typically within the realms of self-preservation. You know what I mean? Because at heart, most women genuinely, when it comes to their emotions, are very selfish. And I know it's hard for a lot of women to really take accountability on that, right? Because your emotions. But it's just like my man PM was saying, like when you come to a woman with a problem, right? The woman is going to start pointing the finger back at you, not even listening. And this is the same thing when it comes to when you speak to a woman, right? And you tell a woman something, like you could be like, babe, I'm going to do such. She will repeat what she think you saying, but it won't be shit that you said. And that goes along with that because it's kind of like, how the fuck you didn't hear what I just said? I said it loud and clear.
Look,
like you said some shit that you felt like I was saying. And to me, that's how they take accountability for things, right? It's all about feeling, and they don't even be thinking. It's just a feeling. And I think that really stems from when girls are little girls, they're not taught about accountability as much as boys are. And then as we grow into men, right, the world holds a man way more accountable for a lot more things than the world holds women accountable for. You know what I'm saying? Like if a man murders a woman, a man ain't gonna be able to get off because he was under emotional distress. But if a woman murders a man and she on her period, she could plead insanity or some shit like that. And that's kind of crazy because it's like men have emotions and men have hormones too. So it's like, why are we taught more to control those? I mean, in today's society, we see a lack of a lot more men being able to control their emotions because they're more feminized. But at the same time, it's kind of like when women be like, men don't take accountability. I feel like a lot of those men who don't take accountability are probably men who were just raised in a single mother household. Because fathers typically teach their son how to take accountability hardcore. You know what I'm saying? Because the law don't give a fuck. You could be 14 and be charged as an adult if you black. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So a father is gonna really drill in his son's head, like, bro, you need to be more aware of everything that's going on around you. You need to know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, men will slip up when it comes to fucking women. You get some babies popping up, but even on that level, women don't have to take no accountability. Like if a woman says she don't want the baby, she can get rid of it. But if the man say he don't want the baby, he still gotta pay child support and every goddamn thing. He gotta be in the child life. He can't sign his rights over if he don't want the kid. But if the woman don't want him to be in the child's life, he can sign his rights over. So it's like, where the fuck do any like it's not when it comes to accountability, it's like women are not held on the same standards, so they don't really have to even try to even compute what the fuck accountability is.
Yes.
Damn.
Everybody lets them get away with everything. But it's good to know that I'm not the only one that's like that, because mine, when you said that about get to talking, man, look, I get to saying one thing, and then next thing you know, I'm like, what the hell that got to do with what I was talking about? Fact, nothing to do with what I was talking about.
They'll repeat some shit that wasn't even. How can you repeat something that never was said? That's crazy.
Oh my God.
You know what the main problem is? That us as men, we go out there and we run around young. Like, so when we younger, we're held accountable because one of our homies, our peers, we quick to scrap or get punched in the face or somebody going, you know, at a younger age, in your teenage years, you know, you're held accountable at a teenage point to where, you know, oh, that ain't saying that, I'll shut up. You know what I mean? Women to sit there and go back and forth with each other all day and won't, you know what I mean? And it can be blatant lies back and forth. And ain't nobody getting punched in the face, none of that. They just stop talking to each other, go about their ways, right? And both of them leave right. Out the room, they gonna all leave right. Ain't nobody gonna be wrong, and ain't nobody gonna hold them accountable. And like Seven said, it must be the fentanyl. Cause I don't know how that
for real.
that, you know what I'm saying? Like no, none of their homegirls check their homegirls. When we younger, man, we getting, you know, we have no type of situation. And even as grown men, if we have an argument, a woman to get way disrespectful for a dude. Two dudes know we can move some furniture around up in here. You know what I'm saying? But the women, they'll sit there and spit box all day. We can't do that as men.
No.
When we come home, the woman want to get on us. We like, I can't treat you like the homie in the street.
Yeah. Damn. He froze on us right there.
I mean, you could, but it's frowned upon.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this why he's working, coming back on in. I'm kind of like Jason and PM. I'm quick. Sometimes I think I'm too quick to cut a motherfucker off.
No, you're not.
He not, Jason?
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Jason, I will cut off family. I will cut a motherfucker off quick. You know, you don't think I'm too quick to cut him off?
No, I don't even know how quick you do it. It ain't quick enough. Because I'm gonna tell you right now. I got a couple things. I listen to everybody. A large part, and I understand the two brothers that said that they roll with acceptance. I dig that because they talking about situations where they locked in. You know what I mean? But I think that same level of acceptance that y'all both say that's how you roll with it now. That's how. Us even speaking in general about women, that's a part of how we got here, right? Because like PM was saying, when we were younger, well, you know, we had a different goal, right? Like everybody now, we got a little age on us, you know what I'm saying? And so we all say, I got later, you know what I mean? Like because I don't know if I ever talked about it on here, but I believe in like basically like a pyramid theory, right? As far as genders go, that I can get into, but that's long-winded. So I'm just gonna touch on it a little bit to say that I believe in like this pyramid, you know. concept of how men and women grow, in the life cycle, basically, as far as it pertains to emotionally interacting with one another. But that's when we had that other goal, when we had a physical goal and we were all younger men, we in our early 20s or whatever, right? Like, yeah, we accepting a whole lot of stuff, right? So we roll
what
with
we was after.
Exactly. And then even go back further, like PM was saying that brothers, I've talked about it here before, how I hate when you watch any of these dating shows, any of these podcasts, anything like that. You got women that'll say, well, I'm looking for a man with emotional maturity. Right then, I'm done with her, right? Because we are forced. Life forces us, especially as black men, life forces us. By the time you 10, if you don't have emotional maturity and emotional control and regulation and modulation of your emotions down pat, by the time you 10 years old, you going juvie first. Then you're going to jail, or you're going to be beat up all the time, or you're going to be shot or stabbed because you can't control yourself. So we don't need nobody to sit down and write us out so we can read a pamphlet, a trifold pamphlet on how to control our emotions. Now, whether or not that male, and I'm using that term on purpose because of what we're talking about, whether or not that male chooses to exercise that emotional modulation and regulation with the woman or women that he deals with, that becomes their experience. And then male or female, what we are as far as developing our personalities, developing our traits. And then, of course, as men, I think it happens a little bit sooner than it does with women. But I think even with women, you then come to an age, maybe in your teen years, maybe in your early 20s, where you start to understand who it is you want to be, and you start working towards that based on life experiences. But from birth in your formative years till you get to your teen years, all of us are a product of the negative experiences that whoever raised you had. So if you got a woman that raised you without a man around and she had horrible experiences with men, you probably a damn good dude because she'd spent a lot of years teaching you don't hit women. Don't talk to a woman this way. Don't do that. All her negative experiences, she gonna learn from and pour into you to create in you somebody else. Whereas look at, I don't know who on the panel y'all we're finna be telling, right? But like if you got dudes, I grew up with two brothers. If you got dudes that grew up with a bunch of sisters in the house, hey, let their woman get crunk with them, right? Let the woman get sideways with them. They grew up fighting girls. You see what I'm saying? They okay with talking crazy to a girl. But those of us with brothers be looking at them dudes like, man, I'm not crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to a woman like that, man. What's wrong with you? Because we are the product, right? Same thing for a man. You got a man that raises you, even if he raising you by himself. Or, especially, let me say, if he's raising you by himself, he's going to raising you. You're going to be, by the time you about 13, you're going to be ready for a job, a big rig, a 401k, all that, because he's going to raise in you how to be a man, because he's having to be more responsible than he's supposed to be by raising you himself, right? But then when you have both parents, and we always know that that's optimal, right? But when you have both parents, hopefully they're healthy and come from healthy situations, and they're going to impart in you healthy things. So then what you have is you develop the fact that women are supposed to love you unconditionally, and you're going to spend most of your life trying to recreate that unconditional love that your mother gave you. You're never going to find it, right? Because all love going to have a condition once you're a male and you got to deal with anybody other than your mama. It's got a condition. Like I say, stop paying bills, anything like that. You will see that woman that's down for you. She gonna ride for. There's a different time frame of how long she gonna ride, but she ain't gonna ride for so long before she out of there, right? Anything like that. Or an example, do something. Raise your voice. Some women, the bar is low, and I'm not dictating where their bar should be, but the bar can be longer than shorter. You get what I'm saying? But you're going to spend the rest of your life subconsciously looking for that and trying to recreate that unconditional love that your mother gave you. In a healthy situation, your father don't give a damn about you feeling love from 0 to 25. He don't care. He care about you being a man when you leave his house. He don't care if that's 16, 17, 18, 20. He wants you to be a man when you leave. You should not have to come to him very many times after you leave to ask for big advice other than, okay, maybe I'm buying a home, I'm buying my first home, pop, this is what I need to, how I'm gonna do that, right? Stuff like that. But as far as you being a man day to day, his job since you were born was to make sure that by the time you left that you were a man and you were man enough to take care of yourself so he could sleep at night. right? So then when you take the core of the family unit and you split it, now he got to focus on both things. Now he got to try to give you love and he got to try to guide you. 99% of the time, the man that's raising kids by himself defaults to trying to get you ready. So what happens is you grow up emotionally bound, right? Because you didn't have that woman cultivating that in you. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm getting long with it. Y'all go ahead.
Hey, you're right, but
science.
I got some tools from y'all. I'm listening. I got some tools because I've been with mine like 30 plus years, and man, I'm telling you, man, the other day, man, I was ready to leave. I packed all my shit. I did leave. I just came back.
Don't leave. Anybody else got any comments on that?
It's so frustrating, man.
Hey, first I want to applaud them for those 30 plus years, man, because you can add all three of mine up, and I don't even add up to them 30 years, man. So you good, man.
If I was in y'all situations, I'd have a knife, cut their asses off too. Hey, I'm telling you.
I'm gonna tell you this: what all 6 of mine plus, it don't add up to 30 years. So.
Man, you been married 6 times.
No.
What? So damn, you a serial? You a serial? What's it called?
Monogamous, huh?
Yeah. Hey y'all, this way I gotta tell y'all, I'm looking at us on the screen, y'all. We look good up in this motherfucker. I'm just telling y'all, we looking good. We covering some serious issues. We may joke a little bit in between, right up in there in the barbershop. You know, you gonna cut a little joke. PM know that, 7 know that, all of us know that. But in the end, it's gonna be some real talk and some real shit up in there. So, guys, I just want to let y'all know I'm looking at us on the screen right now, and we looking good up in this mother sucker. So I don't cuss. I said mother sucker.
Yes, sir.
Right now.
I say for you, motherfucker. We're looking good.
I also want to touch on real quick. I'll be taking notes when everybody talking. PM mentioned with his comment that most men, XYZ. I disagree with that part because I know for a fact that what we fall into, and what by we, I'm using the 6 of us as an example, right? What we fall into is a situation where all the men that you deal with, right? All the men that you deal with, whether you build a casual bond or an acquaintance bond, or you get serious and that's your homie now, y'all spending free time together, right? These people are like you. That's why you spending time with them, right? So you dealing with brothers who have that level of mind that you do, right? So they thinking at an elevated level and they moving like a man's supposed to move when the way you move yourself, which is why that's your homie or why that's somebody that you choose to interact with, right? But it's a lot of dudes, like 7 said, it's a lot of dudes out here that's being feminized, man, and they allowing different stuff to go on, and it is continuing the process of where we have in this country and a lot of countries and a lot of places in the world where, the lack of accountability for women. You shown to be a princess and you told that you deserve the world and you don't have to do nothing but be pretty for it, right? And so when you have men that are less than what they're supposed to be, they play into that narrative and it continues, and they are the majority. What I'm getting at is men like the 6 of us in general, even if if you be liberal with it, right, and just chop off the top 20% of men, right, like we gonna be in that number, right? So the men that we deal with are other top 20%, top tier men, if not that number being reduced, meaning top 10%, top 5%, top 1%, right? So the men you dealing with, you see the same thing. You see a man that's not, he not going for that. He gonna hold the woman accountable. He gonna hold his family accountable. He gonna cut off that cousin that don't act right. He gonna move a certain way. So you think that that's what most men are doing, but it's really a lot of these dudes out here that they can't sit in the room with us, bro. They got to go to a different barbershop. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't do it with us.
Right. That's what's up. That's what's up. Anybody got any feedback on that?
It's all true.
Man, I hate to say it, but it's true. And I think I'm one of the most open-minded brothers out here. But Jason is speaking on knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong, brother. When you're talking about these men being feminine, we're not just talking about men that are gay. We're talking about some of the men that I've seen that call themselves men, that walk around with their pants, with their ass crack showing, talking about how tough they are, got a gun, can't aim, send a mask and shit, talking about how they men make all these women, but they never drive the car. Their grandma, their girlfriend, their sister drive them. And that's what I'm looking at when I hear you say this. Those kids, and I can't call them men, they can never sit in the room with us because they come in scared because they're expecting something that we can't give them.
Correct. And you're right. I'm not.
We can't give them leeway because if they come in the room with us, the only thing we can give them is how to be a man, how to stand straight, how to stand strong, regardless of how they can. So they can't come in that room.
100%.
And that's what I'm getting from what you're saying. And just what I see out there, especially with a lot of the youth out there, they don't want to accept responsibility. They don't want that leadership role. They just want somebody to give themselves.
Yep.
And for the prima donnas, a better.
Yeah. I have a nephew who's about 25, 26 years old. I told him, you are a waste of a very smart black man because he graduated high school at 16, academic scholarships and all that. He dropped out of school within his first semester. Now he don't want to do nothing. And every time I see him, I'm hounding him. He avoids me just because I want to ask him when you going to do something with your life. So, I mean, I just don't understand it. And then I had another young man. I asked him, what you want to do? What you like to do? I like to sleep. Like, what? Yes, it's crazy the way they are out there. Men, they're not men anymore. And I just don't get it. My daughter has a boyfriend. She had something go wrong with her car and needed a flat. She called me. And I was like, ain't you with that boy? She was like, he don't know how to do it either. I'm like, oh, Lord. Like, what's going on out there?
And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Orvie was right. Chocolate Buddha was right. I was not talking about. I was not talking about sexuality at all. I was talking about manhood. I don't care about a person's sexuality. I was talking about manhood, and that you just described is a classic example of the type of problem I'm talking about. Yeah. And what's going to happen is even if nobody, and especially if nobody trains him later on in life, this young man you talking about, right? Because of how, I'm assuming, because I know you, because of how you raised your daughter, that ain't gonna last long. You ain't got to run him off. Because like I said, with the pyramid, she gonna find somebody, she gonna look across that pyramid and see somebody on her level or higher, and that's where she going, right? Yeah. As dudes, we all got to start at the bottom. I don't care if you born a millionaire or whatever. We born at the bottom of this pyramid. Every woman, regardless of her background, is born at the top. It's her job to attempt to stay at the top as long as possible on that pyramid of life, right? As a woman. And it's every dude's, regardless of financial background, regardless of whether you from Chicago, Temple, Dallas, Houston, wherever, it's your job to try to climb as hard as you can. So that's why most of us, again, can always move over or move on from these relationships. Because what we do, we young men, we still ain't developed, right? We falling in love real early, right? You look, 5th grade, you got a girlfriend, you know what I mean? That girl, that song, come on, that's your girl, right? Then you're going to lose it to that 7th grade boy. You dig what I'm saying? Then when you get to 8th grade, you're going to lose your girlfriend to the dude in 10th grade. When you get to 10th grade, then the dude that work at the barbershop going to swoop in the lack and pick your girl up and drive on off because he wasn't at school. He was at work. He grown. You dig what I'm saying? So all that's going to, we going to keep losing as we climbing. But then we get to about 25, 30, 35. And then all of a sudden, the table switch. Because now you got more women sliding down the other side of that pyramid and we climbing harder. Right? If you got your head on straight, you climbing harder. So then when you do decide I'm gonna couple myself up, well, then you looking across, you seeing she needs to be at your level or above, right? And then women being, in my opinion, women being hypergamous anyway, she looking across that pyramid too. When she looking for a man and she looking at her level or above, she looking for a man that's going to understand that when she call and she need guidance, even if she in marketing and he's a barber, that she can call and say, my boss just came in and said XYZ from work. You dig what I'm saying? She in the bathroom. She need advice. He going to turn them clippers off and he going to get, hey, this is what you need to do. He ain't never been in marketing. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I mean when I say she ain't looking for you to bully her or whatever, but she needs to understand that you as a part of her provision and her protection, that she can come to you, right? So all of that's taking place at the top of the pyramid. So then you got situations, circumstances, and lifestyle choices that women can make at the top and slide themselves down low. Then we got to be the asshole that don't want nothing to do with them. What I'm gonna reach down there for? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the rest of my life. I'm talking about my day-to-day life and how I want to live and be happy, right? What I'm reaching down there for? Them women down there, they for y'all dudes down there. Because there's dudes down there, the dudes we talking about, that can't change a flat. That don't know nothing about, you know what I'm saying? Don't know nothing about guiding themselves. Don't know nothing about emotional modulation, taking care of themselves, how they going to take care of somebody else, right? They down at the bottom of the pyramid. They didn't climb. They like to sleep. That's their hobby, right? So you down there, and it's women for you down there. That's why you talk to certain women, these dudes, these particular dudes we talking about, they talk to certain women. They the one that's gonna walk up to one of our women. Let's say it that way. One of our women and say, "You go with somebody. What's your name, baby?" And get laughed at because the women that we dealing with ain't even. Come on now, they don't do that. You ain't even. This is the formal reason. And it's gonna be funny when I say it, but this is the formal reason that we as dudes can start dealing with a woman and then find out who her ex is and we done with her.
Yeah.
You made that decision? Oh no, yeah, I can't move with you like that. You was putting on a good front. You almost got me because I got to get up out of here though. I can't. You was dealing with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
I've said
Let
that
me
too.
let me come over to PM. You good? Let me see if you got a little feedback on anything. Cause
Yeah.
I'm gonna
My
say this.
internet keep going in and out a little bit.
Yeah, but guys, y'all know we get to going and we get all over the place. Jason keeping notes, I'm keeping the notes. So if we shoot past something you want to say, just keep a note and put it in reverse and then go ahead and get it. Cause we get to going up in this barbershop. Them clippers don't stop moving. They turn their heads making money. Come on, PM, what you got?
Yeah, but speaking of the barbershop, man, we was in the barbershop one day. We had this one guy coming in. Dude was, pretty, he lift weights. So he came in talking about a lot of dudes that was in there. He liked the rank bag or whatever the situation may have been. One morning, it's a Saturday morning, he had his child's mother lived right across the street. And he called one of the other barbers, like, hey man, I need you to come over here and help me change a tire. So we was like, well, why he can't get this tire off the car? So, as much as he talked about people, we thinking that he's knowing the game or whatever. So one of the barbers like, I'll be over there shortly. It was right around the corner, man. Over there, shoot over there on the bike. He jump off and like, what's going on? He said, I can't get the tire off the car. Well, the dude had the car jacked up in the air and didn't break the lug nuts before he jacked the car up. He said it just keeps spinning and spinning and spinning. So, he in front of his girl. So my barber looking at him like, bro, you don't know nothing about changing the tire.
Damn.
And he like, oh, I didn't know that. He never changed the tire.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta start going back where the real problem is gonna be. We have a lot of it was a certain period of these single mothers raising these boys in the household, and they're not giving, there's no dad around, and they holding grudges, personal grudges against him that has nothing to do with the child. It's a large percentage of men that don't want to, take responsibility, but a lot of the women are using the kid as a pawn. So it goes both ways. Because on my podcast, they was making it seem like as if it's the man's sole responsibility on conception, and I'm like, look, it's been times when we didn't wear no condoms and stuff like that, and it goes both ways. I mean, you get in a groove. It's only 3 in the box. When you going around 4, you didn't forgot that you didn't use the first 3. Now y'all want to keep the party going. So when
Right.
you have this child, and all of a sudden, that first night in the club where you done got to know the girl just only for 3 dances and a trip to the drive-through and to the crib, all of a sudden, this kid is in the fatherless home. You know what I'm saying? He's not getting what he needed. He doesn't have uncles around. You know what I mean? You holding him accountable for crazy things like that. So now this kid is gonna grow up and potentially want to date our daughters, want to date our younger kids, or younger women and stuff like that. So there's a void. Is missing. You know what I mean? It's a lot of these men, well, young men, like y'all said, they're soft. They're not meaning that they wanna date men, but they're soft. They don't know how
Right.
to own up to certain things, you know what I'm saying? So, I had to kick one out of my barbershop, and he's a barber, but we have suites. So, I had to kick him out because for a whole year, he's telling me that he's trying to take women home and he can't sleep with them. And I'm like, "I don't know what your problem is, bro, but
What?
that's a you problem."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, one day he decided to come in there and in front of my client act as if we never had no conversation for a whole year of him not closing the deal. So now he trying to raise his voice and act like I'm lying. I'm like, bro, I don't have no reason to lie on you. You know what I mean? Like, you can't close the deal. You know what I'm saying? I ended up having to kicking him out just for not owning up to being a real dude. You know what I mean? And he's coming in asking for a lot of experience, and he has a dad, but it's just his dad is not capable of, raising his son.
Yeah.
And we gotta start, looking at that point of it too. Is a lot of kids is not raised with dads, and it's causing the women to raise these softer kids, and they're
Yeah.
growing up with the I'm smart. I'm a social media smart too.
Right.
Social media makes me smart. If I don't know it, I can Google it. But you
Yeah.
still can't change a tire, stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's crazy out there.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
Seven, what you got, Seven?
I'm gonna go on what PM is saying too, though. But I'm gonna take it on another little spectrum, though. So for the people who don't got dads in their life, right? And for the people who do got dads in their life but don't know what the fuck they doing, right? A lot of the moms, right? They will slow down the progression of the child's growth because let's say, like, okay, right, for instance, right, in the little apartment joint I live in, this is a little badass little boy running around, little black boy. He ran into my truck like a few weeks ago, telling me, I'm 10. I was looking at this boy like, I don't give a fuck. I just see him throwing rocks at his grandma, but I know his grandma got mental problems, bro. I might even joning on the little boy. But you know what? It's crazy though. I took the time out to talk to the little boy, and I'm telling him, like, yo, I'm gonna take you underneath my wing, and you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna teach you some shit, I'm gonna mentor you, you know what I'm saying? This motherfucker grandma gonna come out to me, don't talk to my grandson. I'm like, what the fuck, lady? She crazy, bro. She be walking in the middle of the streets doing all kind of shit. I don't never see the boy parents no motherfucking well. And it's like this not the first time it's happened to me. I've tried to mentor some kids back in Chicago who I see intelligent little boys outside by themselves. I know a motherfucking little boy. He was like 8, just running the streets by himself. I took him under my wing because I would always be out in the neighborhood with my kids. And then his uncle gonna run up to me telling me, man, I hope you're not a molester. You always with my nephew. I'm like, nigga, you should be outside with him. Nigga, you shouldn't be up to no motherfucking stranger to take your nephew under his wing and you sitting in the motherfucking crib not doing shit. You know what I'm saying? So if I ever ran into a situation where like my daughter boyfriend, like what Rico was saying, my daughter get a flat, her boyfriend don't know what the fuck he doing, and they call me. I'm gonna call this nigga and tell him, man, put your motherfucking shit on and be ready when I come by your motherfucking crib. You about to learn how to change the goddamn tire. Because if my daughter ever needs you for anything, you need to know what the fuck to do. Now, the thing is, more men gotta start taking motherfuckers under their wing, whether they want to or not. Like, it don't even matter if the young man or the little boy want it. If you see the need, you gotta feel that shit, because these gonna be the motherfuckers that's gonna be motherfucking fathering our grandchildren. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, man, motherfuckers don't really be seeing that, but that's really what people have to start being on, man. If you see some little black boy and even a little black little girl, and that shit is gonna be even more in question. But fathers are needed. If you got the father mentality and you can help these kids and guide them, why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, even if you gotta like tell a kid, like, man, tell your mom to come outside. I don't even want to know where you live. Bring your mom over here. Let me talk to her. And I'm a motherfucker put on game on how I'm trying to motherfucker help you out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, just like Wizzo, what you were saying you was doing for them kids on the baseball team you said you had or whatnot, right? Yeah. So you got to be a father to these kids if you see they don't have that energy, because the women 9 times out of 10 can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't be knowing what it takes to really be a man. And if the mama don't know how to change a tire or tie a tie or even show a motherfucker how to dance, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes motherfuckers don't even do that. I had a homeboy of mine when I was in college. This nigga motherfucker took my hand. We was at a party. He took my hand, put his other hand on my waist, bro. This shit gonna sound gay. We was in a party full of bitches. He showed me how to step. So I didn't even know how to dance, nigga. He showed me. My dad didn't ever show me that shit. It felt gay. I felt weird. But at the end of it, I took the lesson. I was dancing with bitches by the end of the night. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes, bro, you just gotta step in, bro. Even if it's a homeboy don't know some shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's our job to teach each other, man. You know what I'm saying? We can't be letting these young men out here just be fucking around with our daughters or our sisters. Or, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's your sister boyfriend, niggas pull this nigga to the side and be like, bro, you come with me, man. I'm gonna show you some shit. Yeah. Niggas don't know how to work on the car. If you know how to work on the car, show this nigga how to work on the car, bro. Teach him. If you don't know how to cut hair, teach him. So he can teach his sons how to. That's just how we need to be doing it. But motherfuckers don't be knowing. It's not that we don't want to do it. Sometimes we feel awkward. People don't even know how to talk to the younger generation, let alone deal with their parents and shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Seven. I just want to add something to it because you're right. We need to step up, especially in our community, to go out there and help. But we also need to be mindful that some of them kids be looking for mentors, and we just can't turn them away because we don't want to be their problem. I'm gonna go ahead and share a story because you shared your dancing story. I'm gonna share my story about being in Chicago, being a little badass, running around. And I'm gonna give a shout out to the dudes in the streets because a lot of gangbangers out there don't get the props that they get because when knuckleheads like me was out there running where my mom couldn't keep up with me, my grandmother couldn't keep up with me, my dad wasn't in my life. Them dudes are the ones that kept me on the straight and narrow. Not police story, not the lawyers, not the teachers. It was those dudes that was saying, hey, this ain't the life for you, and if I catch your ass out here, I'm gonna fuck you up. I had a mentor that pulled me to the side. He's like, hey, man, I always see you out here. Why you wearing them dirty ass shoes? He made me clean my shoes. Then I started walking around with him, and he was like, man, what's that smell? I was like, I don't smell nothing. He
He
said,
made
it's
you take a
you.
bath.
You don't got no deodorant? And he took me to the store and got me some. He said, bro, you got to put on deodorant every day. You growing to be a little man. I didn't know nothing
Wow.
about hell. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. I wasn't even changing my drawers. I was just one of them dirty little bastards. But it took this dude to tell me, number one, just because you think you can fight everybody, you can't beat everybody. Number two, you need to pay attention more than being reactive. Because I was that little guy that knew, I knew how to kick people in the face. So I thought as long as I could be loud and kick somebody in the face, I'll be okay. That's a good way to get
Right.
killed. And he told me that. And guess what? He was with people that was getting bodies. So it wasn't because I wanted to be a gangster that I was hanging with him. It was because he saw something in me and other people that saw something in me that kept me out of trouble. So yeah, we do need to pull these little kids and talk to their parents. But if we see kids that out there that got potential and they looking at us, hey, tell them to come on over to the yard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk to them because a lot of those kids out there, that's all they need is somebody to pay attention. Say, put some damn deodorant on. I'm gonna put you in the right way, and hell, might even teach your ass
Right,
how to
no doubt,
dance.
no doubt. I'm gonna just touch on just a few things. When Seven brought up my baseball, Seven, and to the guys that know, and some of the guys here in here in my hometown that know me, I volunteered for Little League football for probably about 20 years and ran the league for about three. I coached baseball and all that stuff too. Um, I coached everybody kids but my own. And I raised when some kids couldn't afford to play, so to speak, but their mom could go to a beauty shop. I went to some of my friends, like for instance, maybe you guys, and I raised back then it was like $25 for them to play because when I took over the league as the director, I dropped the fee to 25 to get more kids in. So I've been with kids dealing for a long time, and I know their parents have had the money, but I did not want that kid to turn away. Nowadays, it's like triple for that kid to play, and I wonder how many kids are really missing out. Just give a shout out, Rice. I appreciate you tapping in. We see your comments, and those of you that's watching right now, remember that it's also free to like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate your support. And just a quick touch on PM. PM, you said something the other day on your podcast. I'm gonna tell you right now, that had to be somebody young going to round five, because I'm not going to no goddamn round five at this age of my time. And shit, you talking about round one, two, three, and it ain't but three comes in the pack. I'm not going no goddamn round five. I'm just saying.
I had that same thought.
Hold up, hold up,
I had that same when he
hold
said
up.
that.
Let me clarify that.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, you might get three in the box, but we also talk about condoms popping and bursting. So you might
Yeah,
have
Right.
worn one, boom, one pop out, you pull out, and then you know what I mean. So the
yeah.
rounds, I was talking about the rounds that like rounds in the chamber. Those are
Oh,
condom rounds. You know what I
okay,
mean?
okay.
And you wear them, and something might happen. But if any fella, any one of the fellas ever got out that you done ran through a box and said, "Let me run back to the store and go get some more," you know what I'm saying? You tend
Not
to say,
gonna
"I'll
happen.
just pull out," or something gonna be happening crazy because we
Yeah,
taking that risk of getting a young lady pregnant. But the women on the panel was trying to say it was solely our fault for getting the women pregnant. And it's like, nah, we all got to take accountability on that. So nah, man, I ain't. You know
okay.
what I mean? And if it did go a fourth or fifth round, it was probably in the morning.
Yeah,
after you
yeah.
done woke up.
That morning wood that I
Cause
say,
yeah, Rizzo said this morning
yeah,
to already
she,
go. Cause you
she,
was like, I was saying no sleep with nothing on.
yeah,
I
yeah.
made a post on, yeah. You talking about that morning wood gonna be ready.
Man, that morning wood, she gotta be ready. And I'm just touch on just two more things. Now, when we said it before in Wizard Talk, how it takes a village, to raise kids and stuff like that, or when we were growing up. But now we kind of gotta watch it a little bit because some of the parents are just real quick tempered, and we ain't doing nothing but trying to help their kid or their son or whatever, something like that. And they quick to go and want to try to tell us, mother, like, look, I'm just trying to help him so he know how to change a tire, know how to do different things and stuff like that. So, we just kind of got to be a little careful, but still try to teach that kid if we can. There's a chocolate Buddha. I sent you that one. I think it's Be Great on Purpose out of Colleen that was looking for someone to speak on something. And I sent him to Jason.
Yeah, conflict
Yeah, yeah.
resolution.
And I know that you guys fall right off into that right there. So that's why I kind of tagged you off in that. I hope you didn't mind me tagging you off in that, to
Oh no, that's what I. Matter of fact, brother, I appreciate that, and that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. And it kind of leads into what I wanted to say. We can't be afraid of doing the right thing. Yeah, they got some parents out there that they don't want you talking to their kids. They got all this, but I promise you, there's probably more parents that appreciate that. And the one thing that I want to use as my topic is we got to get back to this role, especially as men, of not giving a fuck about doing the right thing and just walking up. To this day, if I see a lady carrying something and I know she don't want my help, I'm gonna help her any damn way. If the door needs to be held open, I'm gonna hold it. If she got the groceries and she trying to get to her car, I'm gonna push the basket. And if she says no, hey, I'm gonna respect that and back up. But before she says no, I'm gonna move in. And every time I've done that, except once, every time I've done that, she said, "I can't believe men like you still exist."
Now,
We can't be scared to be who we are.
I'm gonna go to Jason because I think Jason may have something along them lines about, especially if a woman trying to say she trying to be like the man or something like that. Jason, you got any comment on that? I think you do, but I'm not sure.
Man, you know me, I got something on everything. On that topic, and it gets hairy, but just like I'm on, and I personally believe it's my opinion, and I'm allowed to have it, but I personally believe that I'm harder on men when I talk about masculinity than I am on women when I talk about femininity. I've learned about femininity. I grew into masculinity, right? So I'm a SME when it comes to masculinity, right? That's easy for most of us to do. The femininity, I'm not as harsh on women because I'm not a woman, right? So it's things that I will keep my mouth closed about and understand that my opinion should stay in my head. But I take no shame or duck my head in the fact that I am a staunch believer in traditional gender roles. I know some of the most masculine men in the world that still say that, oh, my lady is my partner. We go 50-50. And I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about in life that they are unwilling or unaware or don't take pride like I do in saying, I'm the man of the house, period.
Yep. Exactly.
I mean, we can talk about things and I'm going to run things by whatever lady I choose to couple my life to, right? I'll run it by you. Hey, you know what? I was thinking about this, and this. What's your opinion? And I'm going to listen to her, and I'm not listening to her for lip service. I'm listening for real. What she says has an impact on what I'm going to do as a decision, but I also may not listen to a damn word she say. I may not take any of that advice because I'm the man of the house. And if I decide we going to still go this way, then we going that way. Period. Yeah. Now, the type of man that I am, if we do what I thought was best and it's against what her advice was, and her advice, hindsight, armchair quarterback, turned out that it would have been better, I'm man enough to go to her and show that accountability like we started this conversation with and say, you know what? We messed that up. I messed that bag up right now because I didn't listen to you. I'm gonna start paying a little bit more attention, and I'm not gonna listen to you every time. Nothing's changing on how I'm operating, but I can acknowledge that it would have worked out better had I did what you said this time. So I'm gonna take heed to that next time. And the women that I've experienced, they appreciate that. But again, I got a sharp knife, so I cut out all that excess in the beginning before we high five it like that. You get what I'm saying? So I only deal with the type of women that I can have these type of conversations with. I only deal with the type of women that I can say, hold on, you're a little hype right now, and I don't like the tone. You ain't saying nothing out of pocket, but I don't like your tone. So give yourself about 10 minutes, come back, let's talk about it. Because you can't talk to me like that. So I understand, and I ain't speaking ill on no men, no families, no any of that who say that they got to deal with or accept or whatever. Like I said, a couple of brothers said, I don't have that problem. I don't experience that. Not in my home.
All right, that's what's up. PMs, anything on the comment?
Yeah, I mean, I like how he said the point of regrouping the conversation, telling her to calm down. That was an issue with the young man I was speaking about earlier. His dad wasn't that authority figure in the household, so he was having problems with his brother getting out the household. The mom was orchestrating a lot of the softness that was going on. So I was liking that he was able to, calm that conversation down and then, restart, hit that reset button, because a lot of women would tune out, and next thing you know, they taking it from, word for word, and they're getting offended. But I like how you just said, let's start this all over again and hit that reset button, and let's agree to disagree at this moment, then come back and start all over fresh. And I think that helps a lot with communication at that point.
Right. I'm gonna come to Rico because I know his time is limited, and then it hits 7. But I like one of the things that Jason said is, I'm the man up in here, and that's the bottom line. So, but let me come to Rico because I know he got to get in a few bit. Rico, you got anything? Then we're gonna hit up 7 for comment.
Yes, Rick. I just want to say it was meant for me to be on this show. So, Mr. Wizzo, thank you for joining me on here because I needed to hear this topic that we was talking about. I had because of back home where I try to get the little boys and help them and talk with them, they used to say, y'all better run. That come the preacher, man. He about to start preaching to y'all. You better run. So they would all avoid me. So I had stopped. I seen little boys and stuff going. I say, man, it's pointless. I gave up. But after hearing, 7 and then listening to y'all talk, I shouldn't have gave up because eventually there will be someone who wants to listen and they want this knowledge and they want help. So yeah, I thank y'all. I really need to hear this.
Right. And this kind of remind me is, I think we all may have been there when you're sitting in church and the pastor's preaching and he talking about something, you feel like, damn, he talking about me.
Yeah.
That fit right up into me. So we up in here preaching to you, Rico.
Hey, yeah, look, every time I go to church, because I don't go there, I'm like, damn, it's not me. Yes,
What you guys say?
Now, I like what Jason was saying about him staking claim to the title of being a man of the house. Yeah. And I think that a lot more relationships need that type of energy, not necessarily to say that you're dominating, like, because sometimes women just take that shit and then they just turn into your worst enemy when they feel like you want control. You know what I'm saying? But it needs to be known that you're the man of the house and that you're the leader, because I feel like a lot of women have a lot of stuff mixed up. Like, for instance, there was a time where I was dating a shorty and I told her I was leaving. And then she made a big deal that I wasn't telling her where I was going. And I was just going to Walmart. And she was like, well, why is it that every time I got to go anywhere, I got to tell you where I'm going? And I had to explain to her, like, I'm the man. At any given time, it's my job to be able to protect you. How the fuck am I going to do that? And I don't know where the fuck you at. You call me and tell me you went to some shit. Now I'm trying to figure out all this other shit. Well, if you just tell me where you're going to begin with, all you got to do is call me, tell me what's up. I'm already halfway there. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of women don't have that in their mind, probably because they're not used to that type of energy. But I feel like I'm a big advocate for women knowing their place. You know what I'm saying? And I know that shit sound crazy because people take that in a very bad light, though. But I understand certain roles are women roles because women for thousands of years have been doing this shit. It's in them. You know what I'm saying? Men are protectors. Women are they nurturers, and they're supposed to be dealing with our health and our family units. But that shit is all done because for some odd reason, we like society or I'm gonna tell you, man, white people, they push their problems on other people's culture, man. They've gotten our women to get out of the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Now they want them to work and do all this other shit. When really the women was in the kitchen because the women were our first doctors. And I've said this before, but a lot of people don't understand history. Food is our medicine. Women over time have studied food it's a science for them. They know how to put it together. They might not anymore, but I feel like deep down that type of stuff is in them because this is what our girls have been learning since they were young, cooking, taking care of children. This type of stuff is being put into them for a reason. And now society has been taking this stuff out of them. So it's like when you taking these roles away from our relationships, right? It's a lot of stuff that's going to get mixed up. And since a lot of men have been stepping away because a lot of women have been having a lot of mental problems with over the last few generations. So a lot of men wising up, they don't even want to deal with that shit. They'll dip out and go start another family somewhere else. That's fucking up most shit. And it's like, damn, nigga, take the kids with you. I feel like if a woman gonna push you so hard that you gotta pay child support, just give me the kid, man. If you feel like you can't take care of that motherfucker, man. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even want no child support from you.
Nothing.
Just give me the kid. You ain't got to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So we really do need to get back to the point of these gender roles when it comes to a certain mentality of the household because we have roles for a reason. That's power on both sides that people are forgetting about.
Right. Let me say this, and then I'm gonna PM got a comment. I'll write that in a minute. To all of our viewers that's out there watching right now, I appreciate y'all support. Remember that it's absolutely free, 100% free to like, share, subscribe. Keep the comments coming, right? We appreciate you tapping in. You know, you always there whenever I need you, so I appreciate it. PM got a comment on that, and then I'm gonna see if anybody else got anything else before I throw out another little something in the barbershop. PM, what you got?
Yeah, I wanted to piggyback off of what Seven was saying. You know, when a man leaves the house, is different. We're able to protect ourselves. The only people we have to worry about is police for the most part. But if a woman leaves the house, we need to really know where they're going. Just to, like you said, to be there when something happens. I can be halfway there, where I know where you're at. You know what I mean? I had that issue on one of my past relationships, and I had to explain to her, like, look, if you come up missing, and the police come home and question me about where you at, and I tell them I don't know, and you're my wife or significant other, I'm gonna be the first one at the police department, the first one that they question, and the first ones that they looking at to say you might have something to do with it. So it takes a lot of that out the equation. If I can say, hey, she was here at this moment, this is what she told me, this is where she was gonna be.
Right, no doubt. Any other little corners we need to cut off of that edge up right there? Need to sharpen up that edge, Jason?
Yeah. Speaking on what Seven was talking about, with women not liking that, to hear certain phrases, like when he was talking about staying in place, and when he was talking about in particular a man of the house being in control, being dominant, whatever, being a leader, right? There is two things I want to point out about that. Is there's a difference between, and it is always getting convoluted and mixed in together, and it's two totally separate things to me, and that's the difference between submissive and submissiveness and subservience, right? I don't ever want a woman to be subservient to me. You're not my slave. I don't need to put my foot on your neck, proverbially. Nothing like that. I need to respect you, and I do respect you, and I understand that any woman that chooses to be submissive to me and made that decision, that I'm gonna protect that submission, and I'm gonna protect. I've said this before, and I'm sure the comments might, but anyways, I've said it before, but it's the truth, right? I personally seek a woman who is so respectful of me and so submissive to me that I can look at her in a room full of people and say, shut the fuck up.
Damn.
And all she do is shut the fuck up. But when I get the woman that's that way with me, I would never, ever come out of my brain, my mouth, or nothing else and say that to her, because I know she'll do it. So I have to protect that at all costs. So I'm never, I'm gonna protect it like it's the most sensitive thing in the world. And I would never do it. I would never exercise that. Right. But I need that level of, if this man tells me to do this, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna, you see what I'm saying? And at the same time, that's the same woman I'm gonna go to and say, you know what? This happened, that happened, and this was a great thing for me. And now we got an extra 20 grand. What you think we should do? You see what I'm saying? Because I respect her word. I respect everything. So we got to have each other, right? So just being the leader and just being a dominant man in the relationship don't mean you got, and that part falls on the men, because you got a lot of men that hear the word dominant, they hear the word leader, they hear the word submission and all, and they think it's something else. And they the ones that, in my opinion, warp a lot of these women's thought process when any man start talking about being the leader or being the protector and provider. Because here's the other thing, protecting and providing, that provision does not just go with finances. That provision does not just go with physically. That goes with her emotions. That goes with her, whatever her lifestyle is. That goes with, if she says, you know what, again, being a man, there's certain things that a woman that's with me, she can't do. You can't do girls trips. I don't do girls trips. You can't do girls trips. If you need to do a girl trip, I'm not even going to refuse you to go. You're going to talk about a girls trip, and I'm going to say, listen, you know how I feel about girls trips. We already talked about it. I'm not denying you. You could go wherever you want to go because you are not subservient to me. You submissive to me. So if you say you going anyway because it's your homegirl birthday party, y'all go every year, great. It's going to look and feel real different when you get back. It's going to look and feel real different because I got a sharp knife. It's going to look and feel real different when you get back. But I'm not going to refuse you to deny you to go. That's your business, right? And so it's things like that. So you got to have, as a man, you have to understand how to respect that submission and not feel like you Donald Trump in this thing. You know what I mean? You're gonna do whatever the hell you want to do, right? Just because you found a woman that's listening to you. That's crazy to me. You need to, as a man, protect that woman at every level. That provision needs to go to her emotions. That provision needs to go to her spirit. And I'm saying spirit because a lot of women, again, have these specific emotions that they tie to certain things. A lot of women are only religious. They only go into church every Sunday because it makes their heart warm from when they grew up going to church. They might live how they want to live the other 6 days of the week, right? And most of us, especially when you get into higher caliber men, right? And most of us, we saw the gig and we ain't going to church like that. It don't mean you don't believe a certain way, but we ain't going there to get our emotions massaged, right? And we ain't going there to give up our hard-earned money like that, right? I mean, you can take these few dollars I'm gonna put in the plate, but that's about it. I ain't doing all that, right? But that going back to provision, that might mean maybe once a month you're gonna go to church with that woman because she just want to be with her man at that point where she is. You see what I'm saying? She got to have that freedom to have that emotional moment. And as a man, if you don't understand, if you the type of man that I ain't going to that church, I ain't never going. Somebody in that church is gonna be going with your woman. You dig what I'm saying? You got to protect that. You got to protect that provision that she's providing for you, man. You got to tend to that woman at every aspect. It's a lot of responsibility that comes with putting your fist down on the table and saying you're going to be the man.
Yeah.
Because what will happen, these dudes will get fucked up. If some of these women say, let me film, I'm going to let you go. But a lot of these men will get fucked up if some of these women start saying, okay, lead.
Right?
You got it. I'm going to follow you. Because then what's going to happen? When she say, hey, little poo-poo, little Johnny, my 15-year-old from my first marriage, he got this problem, he got that problem. We need $2 grand. Okay, leader. Figure that out. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Or your 16-year-old stepdaughter, your 16-year-old daughter, she say I caught her having sex, or she got an STD. Okay, leader. Now you got to turn the game off, bro. It's time to lead now. That'll be the biggest thing to mess some of these dudes up with all this. I'm the dominant man and all this. It's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of responsibility. Go ahead, Chocolate Buddha. You got it.
Chocolate Buddha.
Man, I just want to speak on it because I hear Jason speaking. Jason always come with alpha dog energy when he talk, and I think a lot of people, they look at this and be like, man, this dude's talking all this alpha man, strong man stuff. And women, they're not having this, and I'll give it to you. There are some women that's not having this, but I'm also going to give you this. There's some women that are looking for people like Jason. I'm going to put it out there, people like me, that we're not having it any other way. That doesn't mean that we're telling you how to live your life, but we just tell you how it's going to be in our domain. This is how it works in our domain. You can either get with it or get out. And Jason, I'm saying this. I don't think you need me to speak up for you, but I'm co-signing with you because this is how my wife that I have now and I work. The women that I was married to before, they wanted to be 50-50. And I tried the 50-50 shit, but I'm not built as a 50-50 kind of person. I'm that kind of person that where if you could get in trouble, step back, I got it. I don't need your help because you can't help. I don't need you getting in the way of me. Watch me do it and you follow me. I got it. And they wanted to do that until they messed up. And they're like, oh, can we do it? No, I can't do it now because you done fucked it up. The wife that I have now, when I got with her, I pretty much told her, look, I'm tired of this marriage stuff. I don't do good in it. I'm an alpha male. I respect everybody. I respect what you do. I respect who you love. I don't care. But when it comes to me, I am the leader. I call the shots. I'm the Michael Jordan in this motherfucker. So if you can't get with that, I understand. Let's have some fun and you move on. And what my wife, I've been in the world. My last marriage was a disaster because I thought I had a leader and he wanted 50-50. He wanted me to do what he did. I had to lead. I'm looking for somebody like you.
Yeah,
that's why we're still together to this day, because when shit hits the fan, and it has a couple of times, all she does is look over and say, what do we do now, babe? And I say, get in the back, follow me. And that's it. That's why it works for me. So when I hear people talk this, I'm like, okay, I hear y'all talking this shit, but why the fuck are y'all in Jason's bedroom when y'all the same ones say, oh, stay out of people's bedroom. Get the fuck out of his bedroom. Stay the fuck out of my bedroom. If it's working for us, let us do us. Because I'm telling you, Jason, fucking salute, man. Because when my wife got with me, she never had a problem anymore. Because as much as she do this, and I give her the acceptance, hits the fan, she knows all she has to do is turn to her man and turn everything.
Right. All right. So let me hit Rico, and then we're gonna hit Rico PM at 7, and then I got something else I want to throw at you guys. So go ahead, Rico, because I know you're getting ready to bounce here in about another 15.
No, about 5.
Oh,
hey, but I totally agree with all that. And after talking with a bunch of different women over time and listen to them, a majority of women, they want that man to lead, because if they get that man to lead, guess what? That takes a whole lot of weight off of them. Because in a lot of these guys out there, like what I think it was 7 was saying, or who said, tell them to lead. Which one of y'all said that it'll mess the men up? They have no idea. They just think that's because you got a penis, that means you the boss. But it's not the same. And you try to tell them any different, they don't want to hear it. But from what I understand, a majority of women, they want that man out front. They want that man to be making these decisions because it takes a lot of stress off them, and they can focus on whatever it is they're doing or the home and being a woman that you need to bring you peace when you need it. So I totally agree with all of that. But yeah, I gotta go. I got something to take care of at 7:30. Hey, it's been an honor again, y'all. Hopefully I'll see y'all again. Y'all take care. Hey, I'll be up there tomorrow, Wizzo.
Okay, all right. We're looking for you, man. We appreciate you tapping in, man. Appreciate you.
All right, later, y'all.
All right, now. All right, PM, you got any comments on anything up in there that's been said there?
Yeah, man. I like what Chocolate Buddha was saying and Jason was saying at the same time. I'm that type of dude, man. Like, let me lead us through the storm. You know what I mean? Until I fail you, and then that's when you know what I mean, can suggest, okay, that wasn't a good move. But for the most part, women, you know, they love a man that can actually make a decision. You know, and I had a client. She was a female. I cut her hair. She was saying that the dude couldn't even set dates for her, so she was considering leaving him alone. He couldn't even just plan out a date or plan out a situation for him to have. And he had like a lot of time ahead of him to make these plans work. And she said she'd been giving him like a month. And I told her, you know, that's not gonna be the dude for you. You know what I mean? For some reason he just can't get it right. And right now you don't have enough time on your clock to even keep on investing in this dude. So you know, it's a lot of guys out here that want that responsibility. And like you said, when it's time to pull a card, they're not gonna be able to stand up to the plate. You know what I mean? A lot of them just, you know, they're shocked when they get that information that they can do it, and steady just pounding this girl into the ground Now it makes it harder for her to trust the next man because now she's gonna add that baggage into her bag and bring it into the next relationship and make it harder for the next man that's gonna be able to complete the goal and the task to help lead her in a situation to where she needs to be led. So I do commend you two fellas for even doing it because that's the kind of guy I am. Like, let let me lead you into what's going on. I'm not gonna. I'm not here to drown, and I'm not definitely not fixing to hear you let you drown. And especially if we had the little ones, I want to make sure that the little ones are not gonna drown. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
It all counts. You know what I mean? So we gonna make it
Right.
to the other side. We all gonna make it.
Right.
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, I'm trying to get Chocolate Buddha back in, so I'm kind of sending him a message. But Seven, go ahead, cause Chocolate Buddha then froze up right there. Seven, you got any comments on that?
Yeah, man. I just want to say, and I know this shit gonna sound weird, bro, because I know a lot of shit I say sound crazy. But when a woman is allowing her man to lead, especially if y'all are young, sometimes it's acceptable to let that motherfucker fail a few times, man. And I know it's hard, you know what I'm saying? But like my man Jason said, if you got some wisdom, give it to him. If he don't take it, he don't take it. Sometimes you got to be able to just be in that boat when it's sinking with a nigga, man, so he can learn how to be a greater leader. You don't catch those doves without catching a few L's, man. And I think that a lot of women need to understand that too when it comes to allowing their men to lead, because a lot of men, right, haven't been leaders for so long that when they step into it, it's gonna be a lot of pride involved, man. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers is gonna fall down a few times. He might take you with him. But that's the thing. Our people don't invest in each other emotionally or financially anymore like we used to. And we really need to get back into that boat, man. Like back in the days, man, women to fucking sink with they motherfucking niggas, man. And they rise right back up with them. You know what I'm saying? Just because the man failed maybe once or twice, don't jump ship on him. Allow him to become the leader that he is growing to be. Because sometimes, man, when you leading, you gonna fuck up a few times, man. I know motherfuckers in jobs who's supposed to be leaders. They getting paid a lot of money and they fuck up every goddamn day and they still got their job. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Help that nigga out, man. He gotta grow some, man. And we all need to look at each other and do the same thing when we see young brothers out there and they fucking up. Man, we gotta tell them like, damn, dog, you might not take the advice, but hit me out. I got a young cat right now I work with. I get this motherfucker advice all the time. He still do the same dumbass shit every day. Yeah. And this nigga would text me on the weekend like, man, you know what, man? You was right. Every weekend with the same shit. And, you know, I just be like, man, this motherfucker don't learn. But I still give him the advice anyway, man. Yeah. And we really got to, I don't know, just stick it in with our people, man. Especially if you call that man your man and you want to see him thrive, you got to let him fail sometimes, man, just to grow with him.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. No doubt. That's what's up. Chocolate Buddha, you good? You looking good? Sound check. Chocolate Buddha. Chocolate Buddha.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay, I got you. Can y'all hear him?
Yeah, we got him. Yeah, we got him.
Okay. Yeah, we got you. All right. So y'all, let me ask y'all this right here. Now, this is going.
I missed every damn thing. Raggedy motherfucker.
Hey, let me tell you this when you say you missed it. So me and my fiance, we go to portrait night sometime, and whenever they say they hit that real topic or whatever, and so everybody say rewind, and so they can rewind that shit and say it over again. So my point is, you can always go back and rewind that shit. Hey, y'all, so I'm gonna say this right here. Now, this is going to be all over the place. So, and I almost hate to read it because we've covered so much of it already, and it's just some of the shit that we were saying. But since I wrote it down, I got to go on and put it out there anyway. So I'm going to put it out there. This was my deal, you know, how the men really see women. We've covered some of this in some of the comments. So you guys want to touch on it, you can. If not, I have one other thing that I want to bring up because I don't want to hold you guys too long. So, anyway, here we go. How do men really see women? Do we see them as overly emotionally, unwilling to work, constantly seeking a man to provide for them, always complaining, and sometimes overprotective? Do we see them as clingy, you know, or do we just see them as, let me just say it, piece of for sex. I don't want to say what I was going to say. So it just kind of said, how do men really see women out there? Now, you have some women out there that are looking for that man to take care of them for that six figure, to that man like we was talking about, to to be that man in the house and saying, no, you're not doing that. I know Jason has spoken one time saying he's not doing no damn dishes. He'll do a whole bunch of other shit, but he's not doing no damn dishes. No. So and he has his reasons why he's not doing the damn dishes.
The trash gonna get out, but them dishes gonna stay right where the hell they at.
I'm just asking you guys, how do men really see women? And I don't want to call anybody out. So anybody would like to jump on that, and I got one follow-up to that after we just kind of touch base on that. So how do we really see women out there? And if anyone's out there watching right now, y'all please feel free to post it in the chat, and we'll see one of these guys can answer that for you, or if it's directed to a certain person. But let me come up to 7 first. 7, how do men really see women? That's a wide open deal, but I'm just throwing it out there.
Hey, I'm honestly gonna say, man, everything you said is how I see women. Every last one of those categories, because, like, bro, it's different. It's different. So many different flavors when it comes to the women's mentality and their emotional construct, bro. It's a wide array, because it's like a gamble, man. You'll never know what you're dealing with when you go talk to a chick, man. You know what I'm saying? Until you give her enough time to realize that majority of them are a little mentally unstable, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's because of all the emotions, man. They haven't really been taught how to control it. I heard somebody say online that women have more emotional intelligence because they deal with their emotions more. And I think that shit is backwards, because, yeah, they deal with their emotions more, but they don't control that shit. So there's no intelligence behind it. It's just emotional chaos. So when you're dealing with women, sometimes you like, man, you walking on needles, man. You don't even know what the fuck gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I could try to control them, but I don't even got that kind of swag as Jason, man. How he be talking to him, man. Like that man, he cold blooded, man. I mean, I could have, like, listen, he'll tell him he'll cut him off. I just won't talk to him no more. Like, I'll be like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna talk to you later. 5 years go past, she ain't heard from you. You know what I'm saying? I won't even tell him I'm gonna cut him off. I don't even know what type of knife that is. But if you know what I'm saying, like when it gets there, bro, I'm not gonna tell him it's a problem, bro. I might, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna listen to their ass tweak out, and then I'm gonna disappear. Cause you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta go ghost on them, man. And if they try to pop up into your crib, I'll pull a gun out on somebody, bro. For real, man. I'm not even joking, bro. You gotta scare them a little bit. These women, and some women nowadays, they get turned on by that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't get it, but it's some weird characters out here. I mean, I don't view women just for vagina, although vagina is the main reason why a man would want a woman. I mean, because I know a lot of dudes who's married and they don't be liking their wife to talk to them that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a woman's conversation sometimes it's for another woman. Because the shit that a woman to talk to a man about in a relationship is it stresses me out. Because she'll start the story off, and I'm like, get to the end of this motherfucker already. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be a point she getting that, but she'll go through the whole day to get to it. And it's like, bro, my mind can't handle that shit. You know, I'm trying to process a problem, and then women, they'll tell you their problem, and then you trying to solve the problem, and she like, just listen. But your motherfucker, you gonna go through the same fucking problem tomorrow, then I'm gonna have to hear about it again. You know what I'm saying? So when I be looking at these women, I just be thinking, what the fuck do they really want from men? You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like they want money, but at the same time, it's like a lot of the shit that women want from men nowadays, they really want from their homegirls. I don't know if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like they treat you like their homegirl, but then if a nigga be feminine, they gonna talk about them. So like, don't talk to me about that shit. You gonna talk to your homegirl about like women get mad when men not in their feelings. I don't feel no type of fucking way. You like, what's on your mind? Bitch, I'm thinking about what I'm gonna eat for lunch tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't feeling no way about nothing. Sometimes I don't want to talk. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You'll deal with a chick, you'll live with her, and she's like, we don't communicate, man. We talk. I just don't talk as much as you talk. You know what I mean? And you don't even be talking about shit. I just be sitting there thinking, like, and then sometimes it seems like they want to talk to you when you start getting into some other shit. Like you focus on something else, and then they start talking to you about some shit as soon as they see you focusing on that shit. Like I was sitting here looking at you for the whole goddamn day, you ain't saying shit. But when I start concentrating on some other shit, now you want to talk to me about some shit that you want to focus on. Like, bro, it's tiring, bro. That's why I'm happy I'm not married no more. That shit was stressful. Like, God,
How do men really see women here?
Seven just had a flashback.
Yeah, he did.
Man, how I really see women, they're not built like the women of back in the day. And I don't expect them to do it's evolution. But the social media and along with the television shows, these real life housewives of Atlanta and these different shows are messing up the vision that they really need to have. You know what I mean? The expectation from a woman has changed because they're looking at this woman on TV, television, and they're getting obsessed with trying to be that person with share, you know what I mean, with a different pocketbook or a different lifestyle. You know what I mean? So they're holding that hope and the dreams to become that, and their reality is something totally different. And like Seven be saying, man, they kind of like it's a mental health thing because if you can look in the mirror and see something totally different than what your reality is, then that's a problem. You know what I mean? And a lot of them are not seeing the reality of what they're facing, bro, and it's kind of scary because well, I don't even say it's scary. It makes my life easier because I can tell when you're running around and chasing your tail versus with a woman that's built with confidence and moving a certain way. I was raised around all women, so I can tell like all the women in my family are with the husband. All the women in my past, I mean, my grandmother and all them have had husbands and they to the dirt with them, or they, unless one of them fell off, but they've been with them same caliber men, that same man that I've seen them with when I was younger. So I know what it takes. I know what the women or submission part is. What they know what it is, and I know how to now apply that as a man because I've seen the women do it gracefully. You know what I mean? So like these days, it's just such of a merry-go-round, man, of how they thinking. And like Seven said, man, it's got to be the fentanyl, bro. Like their way of thinking is just crazy. They want to bring up, well, you identify something, and it's immediately, well, you ain't doing so and so and so. Now let's stick to the subject. Let's stick to the problem at hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, why aren't you doing this? My requirements is only this, but your list is like a Christmas list from Santa Claus, bro. It ain't gonna never match up because your reality is different. You know what I mean? And your expectations is different. And that's just my take on it, man. It's just a crazy world, but it makes it easier because when you see that diamond in the rough, or you see that one that really stands out, then that's the one you should go for, because the rest of them gonna be running around with the same, confusion.
Right. That's what's up. That's what's up. Chocolate Buddha. How do men really see women?
Well, I can't speak for all men, but I'm gonna just say how this man sees women. It's levels to them. It's levels to them. They got the ones that's putting Seven through some shit, even after the shit didn't happen. They got the ones, that's on that thing on trip, but as men, we got to be able to cut through the BBLs, and seven damn sure flashback and snap like motherfucker.
Seven lost his hair.
God, he did. Oh shit, man, Seven, man, I got a hug for you, brother. Shit, but what I was saying is, for me, at the position I am now, man, they really are some good women out there that can see you for you, and they want to see you level up. And I'm saying that because some of the things that I'm doing now with the Chocolate Buddha brand and stuff, they got women behind the scenes. They ain't trying to be the next baby mama or trying to get it. They just like, hey, brother, I like your mind. I like where you're going with this. Tell me how I can help. And they doing that with no connection. It's really like some real platonic hey, I know somebody. When you got time, I want you to meet them on there. So for all these webcam beauty bullshitters, hot girl summer bullshit that they doing, hurting 7 motherfuckers out there. They got some good women out there that, you know, when you talk to them, you're gonna find out right away they ain't for that bullshit, and you're gonna know right away they looking at you to be the leader that you're supposed to be. And I'm saying that you're supposed to be from my mindset, from Jason's mindset, from the brothers that's here's mindset. And when they're gonna appreciate it. Now, the women that I'm down me, calling me some god or something like that, but they respected my alpha level and they holding me to that. And because I'm doing that, they're supporting what I'm doing. So what I'm saying is, there's a lot of riffraff out there, but don't let them get in the way of the good ones out there, because they got some good ones. When you look up with them, man, you can't help but to level up, because they're looking for you to follow. They're looking for you to support them so they can support you.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, JP, what's up, man? How do men really see women?
It's you know, again, I intentionally speak in generalities when I'm saying certain things. I think it's a lot of good women outside. Matter of fact, I don't think it. I know that there's a lot of good women outside. And the reason that I know that there's a lot of good women outside is because 1 in 4 black women is going to get married that wants to. 1 in 4, right? 25%. That means there's 2 or 3 other good women who are marriage material, who are couple material, that they're not going to see that man. In our society, in our communities, these women, you know, they gonna ride by themselves to the end because of the lack of availability of viable men for them. Just the numbers aren't there, meaning you could couple every black man with 1 black woman. And this is just an example. I'm not saying your woman got to be a specific race, but and you still gonna have so many women left, that good women. So it's a lot of good women outside. First of all, I want to say that. But what we see highlighted, which is what forms our opinions, is the lace fronts, the lashes, the cake on the face, the fingernails that you can touch your wrist when you close your hand. We see all of that. And I'm telling you, I'm speaking for myself, very little to none of that shit is attractive to me. I want to see, if your hair's short, baby, rock that. I want to see that short hair. If your hair gray, style that. Let me see that pretty gray. Let me see that you live in life. If you are a hard exterior, it's usually because you had to be to get through. But when I start showing you over the course of time, whether that takes a few weeks, which is usually not the case, or a few months, and you can still show me that you possess the ability to transform and release that harshness and that masculinity to allow me to come in and be who I want to be for you, then we gonna be all right. You see what I'm saying? The problem is we have all these cliche words, and a lot of times they just sound like words, but there's stuff be held in these women's hearts, because we all know that our women are emotional. And I personally applaud it, because we lack emotion. We lack the ability we focus on logic. So there are times that there is emotion needed, and we not gonna bring it. Right. So that's when you need a woman to bring that emotion in and say, no, baby, I need you to calm down, because here's the other part of this picture you're not seeing. And then as a man thinking logically, you should take that advice. You should listen. Right. But that woman got to have the same wherewithal. But you got women running around saying it is what it is. That mean what it means. Take a pause and listen. When a person tell me it is what it is, that's telling me you might as well throw your hands up, right? You walking away from the situation, proverbially, emotionally, verbally. At some point, I lost you, right? You got people that say, women that say, what is it? Agree to disagree. I don't never roll with that one. Nope. Yeah. We need resolution. We need resolution. And if we can't sit here like a grown man and a grown woman, or a grown man and grown women, y'all know my life. Anyway, however you gonna deal with it, you know what I'm saying? If we can't sit here and deal with it, right, and talk without yelling and fussing at each other, then that's a problem. My mantra in any relationship that I've been in since I was probably post 35, right, is as long as leaving me, once I've chosen you and you've chosen me, as long as leaving me is not in your toolbox, we're going to work it out.
Boom.
We're going to work it out because I'm going to give what I got to give because I call myself a leader, right? That means sometimes I got to acquiesce to what you got going on. I'm a livestock man, right? A group of horses, a herd of horses, whether it's 10 in the herd or 100 in the herd, when they are running across the plains, right? They running across this beautiful grass and the mane is just flowing. Where's the leader at? If anybody know that, I'm asking.
Oh, shit. Front back.
In the back. The last horse in the back is the alpha male dominant of that herd. Because it's his job to make sure everything going the way it's supposed to go. Now, when something started going the wrong way or they going the way he don't want to go, he will run ahead and guide them back the other way. And when he does, a subpar male will take the rear to make sure they don't leave nobody. Right? Then when that leader get it set back up, he gonna go back to the back, and it's always gonna be a male running in the front too. That's working in sync with the alpha male that's in the back. Study animal herds. I'm telling you, this is animal nature. What do they teach us in school? We animals, right? We Homo sapiens, right? Certain thoughts and ideas that we have, we can't separate ourselves from. Right. And so you got all of this stuff where you had a literal, because somebody mentioned it, I don't remember who, because of social media and all this stuff, you have a situation where in the early 70s and the late 60s, a bunch of men decided it would be cool to put wigs and lipstick on and dress real provocative and do these shows called drag shows, right? And they got a lot of attention and they got a lot of popularity in general. And then women thought, that's crazy. I can wear that too. So now you got a generation of women. The lady that created lace front wigs worked in Hollywood. She said, I created those wigs so these women could get through 2 to 3 months of wearing this wig without us having to do this every day. And now they walk around just wearing them. It's a performance, right? And then you got women getting BBLs and all this other kind of stuff. I don't care. I ain't never talked about this with none of y'all. So if I offend you, I'm cool with it, right? But any man that focus on ass more than anything else about a woman's body, about a woman's emotions, about her personality, if ass, these dudes that just chase these BBLs all the time, I promise you, your gender, sexuality is in question to me because you are bragging and you living your life about something that a man can give you. I want to hear you brag about something a man can't give you. A man can't smile at me like a woman can smile at me. So I want to talk to you about her smile. A man can't touch my arm and tell me to calm down in the soft voice and make me calm down. You dig what I'm saying? That's things that women bring to the table that are way more important than an ass. We all got an ass. I don't care what your gender is. You got an ass. Do I want it to look right? Yeah, I want you to look. I want you to turn me on. But if that's my whole focus in life, if I got to ignore your personality or your shitty attitude because you got a big ass, I need you to step away from me. Like move away from me. And if you the type of man that's how you locking it down, then that's a problem. But then, like you say, you got men like Seven that say they got these negative experiences with these women. That's the spectrum. That's the spectrum. And like I said, a lot of that stuff, the only way to flip that around, because what's happening right now, somebody was here saying, and I'm sure PM and Wizzo both, y'all with these podcasts, right? You're talking to a lot of women. You talking to a lot of women offline, and offline, when I'm talking to women in our cohort, meaning they in our age group from 40 to 50, 55 years old, these women want to follow a man. They want to put that masculinity down. They want to be feminine. That woman don't want to have a problem and then stress out dealing with that problem for the next 6, 7 days, 7 weeks, whatever it is, whatever she got going on. And I ain't just talking about financially, but at that point, she got to man up. She would love for that pressure to be on somebody else. She would love for that man to come in and be like, yo, I got this. Don't worry about that. And then all that's doing is building trust and building stability. So I will be with somebody and then I warn them, look, I know, we got this problem, we got that problem, but we need to sit down, we need to work this out. Because if you talking about leaving, you finna find out real quick how cold it is outside. And I ain't wishing ill on you. I'm just talking about the truth. And the last one that split, call back. Can I? No, we can't do that. I can't do that. Can't go back. I told you don't leave. Once you tell, she said, well, you didn't even want to talk about the terms of, nope, I'm not going to talk about the terms of you leaving. I'll talk about the terms of you staying. Hey, I'm not comfortable here. Let's talk about how I can be more comfortable. Hey, I'm not, these, when you do this, it makes me feel this way. Can we talk about this situation? Let's work together all day long like two grown people. But the time you come in and I come in from work and you say, I need to talk. Okay, what you need to talk about, baby? I'm going to be leaving. Okay. Do I need to get movers? What's logistically, what does this look like? She said, that's so cold. I said, yeah. Logistically, what we need to do? Do I need to take a day off? So when your movers show up, somebody can be here to open the door. How we going to move with this? Once you'd have told me you leaving, adios. Now I want you gone. But if you want to work it out, let's work. That's just,
Right. Already. PM, any comment?
Well, like I was piggybacking off of Jason. Dick Gregory said, "Big butts ain't nothing but full of crap."
That's right.
Keep chasing it if you want to. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, it's a situation where if we can't talk about it, then we can't be about it. You know what I mean? And don't be testing me, trying to see if I won't use that knife to cut you off, because I definitely will. You know what I mean? And I'm here to work it out. My last situation, she got caught up doing some stuff, and I told her, I was like, look, we can sit there and talk about it. Everybody been telling me about it, you know what I mean? But I'm willing to give you your shot. And she was like, nah, I'm good. Like, you sure? And I said, well, once you breach that doorway, it is what it is. She's like, all right, cool. I think she had done that like in the morning time. And by the time she came back that afternoon, everything I owned in the house was gone, left her with everything. And I was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and start a new life. I was gone.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, we definitely will take it out and be gone, leave all that shit. OB, chocolate. It's hard, y'all. I like Jason.
Look, hey, you can still call me OB. Just for everybody out there to know, the name is still Army. I'm still there, Army Airborne, All-American motherfucker. I'm just starting my brand, Chocolate Buddha. So, man, you call me, man. You call me dude. I'm gonna answer.
All right, Chocolate Buddha. You got any comments on that? Anything that's been said? You good?
No, man. I think a big part that people don't like is that we got to be factual in what we're talking about, and we got to be believing in what we're gonna do. And we make a lot of fun with this chopping off stuff. And yeah, I'm 0 for 3, but I'm gonna tell you, with all honesty, it was a good call, because if I wouldn't have cut them off, I would have been dragging this dead weight just to cut them off later. And if somebody's gonna keep dragging you down and making you feel bad for trying to bring them along in the first place, let them go out there and find out. Because every last one of them that I cut off always said, hey, we probably should have worked it out. No, you. I wanted to work it out. You wanted to go, and I just said, I did it, Jason. That's why I'm starting calling. Oh, you want to fuck with me? Jason, goddammit. Jason. And if you're a real one, if you're a real one, this is the way that you find out you're a real one. Because if you're a man, you can stand 10 toes down. I guarantee you, even if they don't come back and tell you, they're gonna tell everybody else.
That's right.
I never should have left.
Yeah. That's true.
So you do your thing and keep moving, because somebody else
deserves
that blessing,
That's
not
definitely
them.
true. Let me hit up 7, and guys, then we'll go around, because I don't want to keep you guys past 2 hours, because I still got some. Actually, Jason answered a little bit of what I was gonna say when we was. One of the things I was gonna say is why do we look at women outer features? And when he got to talking about that ass, I'm like,
hey, just alibi fire. I ain't gonna lie.
Of course.
Nice ass,
of course.
I ain't gonna take it. It
of
ain't
course.
No it's a nice cornbread. Man,
okay.
On that motherfucker.
Of course. Of course.
I might read that in a minute, but let me come up here to Seven right quick. Seven, what you got, man? Any comments on there? We're not giving closing comments yet. Just anything that you.
I know what you mean.
Okay.
No, I mean I'm good. I feel like they said everything, man. I had my little flashback. I'm straight, dog.
Right. And I'm gonna go and read what I was going to say, and then if we want to touch it, we can. And now we're gonna go and get some closing comments. But one of the things that I was going to say is, why do you think some of us men, look at women outer features as opposed to their inner features? And like we was talking about the ass, we was talking about Jason mentioned lashes, and I think all of us men, we've covered that once before, that lashes just don't really turn us on like that, So, but I'm just asking you guys, why do you think we look at those outer features? Because now it's a surprise, because they have the slip-on ass, they have the packed up breasts, they have all of that stuff. They got the lace fronts. So when you get home, you're like, well, goddamn, what happened to the titties? What happened to the ass? But then I say this right here: just because a woman has a fine ass, she might be a lazy fuck. You can catch one over there got a ass like a flat cardboard box and will fuck the shit out of you.
Big girls try harder.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna even say nothing on that one, Jason. You know I got the thing to say now.
We're gonna just touch on this.
Keep my damn mouth shut.
Just a little touch on that if y'all want to. Then now we're gonna get some forward comment. Why do y'all think that some men look at women outer features as opposed to the inner features? And I'll say this, I think Cree said one time that, when men be talking about they want somebody natural, and then when we go natural, we go without makeup, we go without the wig, we go without this, we go without that, then nobody want to look at us. So I just ask y'all, right, what do y'all think? Why do y'all think some men look at a woman's outer features as opposed to getting to know what's inside?
I think a lot of these dudes.
Man, can I?
Who?
I just wanted to say real quick without getting in trouble. There's a difference between putting all this combat makeup eyeline thing and just letting yourself just look like shit. If you wake up with coal in your eye and just saying, "Look, I'm natural," that ain't natural. That's nasty. You can at least wash your face. You know what I'm saying? Please, come on now. When I say it, I'm just saying if you got to put on more camouflage than I do going to combat, that's a problem. The thing that I find beautiful is somebody that gets up, brush their teeth, wash their face. If they got short hair, brush it, have a little finger wet. Y'all remember when women used to have the sundresses on in the summer?
Yeah.
Huh? No, not makeup. Maybe some hoop rings.
Yeah.
If their hair was long, they brushed it back in the ponytail, short style. If it wasn't, they finger waved it or something like that. And man, that was the hottest. Oh, okay. Now, I'm not gonna say no more because I said I was gonna try to keep my marriage. But
let's go to PL right quick. PL, what you got on there?
I like some dresses still to this day.
Yeah.
Right.
I think a lot of the fellas that like that, they like to stay up with a certain trend, or the latest shoes, the latest this, or they think the most expensive thing is the best thing. And I know a couple of guys just like that. So I think it's cosmetic to cosmetic. You know what I mean? Their outer appearance, they like the outer appearance of the woman. Me personally, I like a natural woman. Whatever I lay down with, I want to get up with. You know what I mean? And I know if we can just need to jump somewhere and go somewhere to drop of a dime, it's okay. I know if we fly to another country and her bags get lost, that she still can be representing as sexy as she is natural. You know what I mean? And the extra would be if she decides to put on a little something extra. But I don't do the fan eyelashes. You know what I mean? I don't do the different color hairs and the wigs and all that. I would rather see your natural hair. Because me personally, I like a Holly Berry. I mean, a Tony Braxton, short hair.
Right.
For me, that right there, that's just an extra. I mean, I love a woman with short hair. So, if you're able to maintain that look or maintain a sexy, natural look, that's all for me. And I think a lot of the guys, they look into that, you know what I mean? But they don't understand the upkeep that it takes to maintain that. So there's a lot of women that's going around right now saying that it's the man that doesn't want to, he doesn't want to have that upkeep and he can't afford you. I'm not even worried about affording you, but are you confident in your own skin? Are you this lady that without that, you know what I mean? Can you represent yourself and be as confident? And I believe in confidence. I'm attracted to confidence. I believe a woman with no makeup can walk in there and look better than some women that's like Buddha said, with all the army fatigue makeup and stuff ready to go to war. You know what I'm saying? Like you will look better than some of these women that's made up. I can't stand the
Right.
prostitution lipstick, that bright
Right.
red on the dark skin or regular skin. It just says prostitute for me. I ain't knocking the people that like the prostitutes. That's on you. But me, it's just too much. Like, let me see what you're really working with. Let me see how you are in the morning when I turn over and look at you. I ain't trying to have I'm gonna get you sucker. You know what I mean? When you come home, you taking off the leg, you taking off the arm, the eyelashes, the wig, and all that. You know what I mean? Give me something natural, man.
Pop off the eye.
Hey, all that. You know what I mean? Let's be the confident. Fellas, if you out there that's what you like, but I guarantee you, man, at some point when she gets of age and she gets wrinkly and all that, it ain't gonna look the same.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be wondering, like, well, damn, what did I marry? I was gonna get used to it now, man. Get that natural.
No doubt, no doubt. I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna come to 7, and we hit Jason, and then we give out some closing comments. But I want to just first give a shout out to all of the viewers that's watching now. Maybe you're watching it later. I appreciate your support. Just remember that it's 100% free to like, share, and subscribe. We putting it down in the barbershop talk. So right now it's showing about like 10 people watching live, or I don't know how many really watching on Facebook. So hey, we'd love to hear from you. Post the comments later. These guys maybe reply to them, maybe not. If it's for a certain person, hit them up. It's for Jason PM 7 or whatever. So I tell y'all better watch with 7 because Arvin and Jason, we always have to cover control 7 and PM no doubt because anyway. Let me get over what I'm saying right quick, and then we'll go to 7. 7, go ahead. Not closing comments if you want to just touch on anything, and Jason gonna touch on something, and then we're gonna go around the horn for closing comments.
Just to touch on that, why men look at certain characteristics of women, I want to start off by saying that there was a case in China. I don't know if you gentlemen have heard about this, but there was a case in China where a woman
did.
Fix her face up and doing surgery and all this shit. A man fell in love with how she looked, had kids with her. The kids came out ugly. He sued that bitch, bro, and divorced her. What? That's a yeah. That's real shit, bro. That's true. You look that shit up, it's crazy, but I like that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I did not expect that story to go that way.
Hey, man. Hey, me neither. Wait till you see it. That shit crazy because them kids ugly as hell. He was mad. And I understand because over there looks is a big thing, man. Nobody want no ugly motherfucking kids over there, man. You know what I'm saying? So I want to talk about it like scientifically, man. We look at these women, right? And we see long hair, we see healthy lashes, we see healthy skin, we see a fat ass, nice hips, big titties, but what do these things mean scientifically to us, and why have we been evolved to look at these things? You know what I'm saying? Well, first you got to think about what do big breasts represent. That's fertility. You know what I'm saying? You got healthy children. You're looking at a woman with big hips. That means her body can disperse heat a certain type of way. She has a certain type of hormones that's going to produce healthy children. You know what I'm saying? Then we got to look at hair. What does hair represent? Hair represents good health. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at a woman with skin, beautiful glowing skin. You know what I'm saying? The shit they use the makeup for, what does that represent? What do we look at when we see that? Why are we attracted to it? All this stuff is in representation of great health, and all of this shit is what women are trying to trick niggas into thinking that they got. None of this shit they got, man. They putting the makeup on. And then what Cree was saying, you know what I'm saying? A woman can take all this shit off and look natural and niggas don't want to talk to them. That's because after years of wearing that bullshit that's got thousands of chemicals in it, right? Your skin look like shit. I don't want to talk to you. You got little pimples in a goddamn 13-year-old girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's because you putting all the bullshit in your body. You know what I'm saying? The eyelashes. When the women take these dumbass eyelashes off, right? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, these women, when they take the eyelashes off, their eyelids are balded in my motherfucking head, dog. You see that shine? That's what their eyelids be looking like. I'd rather talk to a bitch that ain't got no teeth than a bitch that ain't got no eyelashes, man. Come on, man. You ever seen a woman with no eyelashes? It's like a woman with no fucking eyebrows. I don't know how she feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's going on anymore, bro. I think that shit, I was confused. I was like, something look different about you. I can't even put my finger on what look different. And then when I seen them, I'm like, holy shit, you don't have no eyelashes. I hear women all the time talk about some. I'm so jealous of me and y'all have beautiful eyelashes. Bitch, we don't fuck with them. We leave them alone. That's why we have healthy eyelashes. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like getting into all these things that we look at when it comes to women and what we're attracted to is all an illusion of health, right? And they don't be healthy. So when a man say he want a natural woman, that's really us genetically looking at their health status. You know what I'm saying? Like, how healthy are you? How healthy will my lineage be coming through you? You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people don't take that shit serious. But when we looking at our women, we need to be looking at these type of things like, what type of clothes are you wearing? Because if you wearing shit that's polyester, you getting all these chemicals in. It's fucking your body up. You wearing these synthetic wigs, all these chemicals. And it's been shown that these synthetic wigs can cause cancer and stuff like that. See, back in the days, the reason why we attracted to more natural things is because back in the days, our mothers and them was getting their hair hot comb. Motherfuckers wasn't putting them wigs on like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then they start fucking up. They start doing the perms. You know what I'm saying? But the hot combs was the more natural shit they was doing back then and shit. So we attracted to this shit because these are things that represent health. So we're looking at these women, and now we want them to be natural because makeup and all this shit is like witchcraft. We don't know what the fuck going on with these women. 9 times out of 10, if they wearing all this shit, they got a personality disorder. Because a lot of these hoes are put on a different wig for every day of the week. And every goddamn day they have a different personality to go with different. You ask the bitch who she is today, she LaTanya. Who she is tomorrow, she Renee. I don't know. Who are you, bro? You know what I'm saying? How you expect me to love you right? You don't even know who you are. You know what I'm saying? And it's like these are some of the reasons why we look at a woman's physical being first, and then you get to know her because you're looking at what your lineage is going to be coming through. And that's just a scientific thing, man. I'm sorry to get crazy with y'all.
Hey, I'm going to say this before Jason go. So a while back, my fiance brought me this gavel. If it was women on this podcast right now, I'll be beating the shit out this damn gavel. I'm trying to get some damn order after you, Seven. You got us over here crying and shit. All the women have been going off on your head. I'm surprised they not commenting in the chat.
Man, he took me out with the ball ass eyeballs.
Okay, KP, go ahead, man. And then we go. I will say something. Then we go get some closing comments to get out of here.
I'm gonna try to be brief, man. I made some notes as everybody else talk, but I want to start by saying I agree with Seven, man. And you know, me and him go at it sometime, but today I'm on his team, right? Because he's right about what he was saying. Okay, what I wrote down was, of course, the question being about the physical features and stuff like that. I literally wrote body and healthy before Seven even started talking. So I don't need to say all that. I agree with him. I agree that that's what we subconsciously are looking for is healthy, which you don't have to be, a thin man for me to consider you healthy. I mean, are you healthy for real? You know what I mean? If we got to climb 3 flights of stairs and you breathe like somebody chased you up them stairs, you ain't healthy. I don't care what your body look like at that point. We need to work on that, right? So you're right. I'm gonna move on past that. When we talked about the makeup and all the accessories, me personally, I'm speaking for myself. One of the most beautiful things that I ever see, and I point out often, is when I see a beautiful, beautiful woman with very little makeup. I'm not saying don't put anything on, but very little makeup on with a hijab on. And all you can see is this. She ain't got no tight clothes on. She ain't got no tight jeans on. Those women to me are absolutely gorgeous. And the fact that I cannot see their body makes me focus on other parts of beauty about them. And that's why I believe a lot of them choose to wear that, right? I respect it. I always puts a smile on my face and makes me think, because now there's that allure. Like, this woman is just, she's giving sexy to you without showing you her body. You don't see her body. She's not disrespecting herself to be considered sexy. And I understand that that's a religious thing, it's a cultural thing, but I'm saying that is an example to me of how a woman does not have to show her body like that to be sexy. On that same token, when you look at these different shows and you look at these, these pop the balloons and all this other stuff, and you see these women that come out, I agree with every other man in the room. This woman is fine as hell, right? You can see her whole body. Only thing she got covered is her pubic area and maybe her nipples, right? You fine as hell, but you know what you're not? You're not my woman. Because my woman, without even the universe ain't even brought us together, she would never leave home like that. You dig what I'm saying? So I don't have to tell a woman that I'm dealing with, don't dress like that, because I would never choose a woman that dressed like that. And the reality is, if I'm outside like that, all you can give me is sex. That's it. That's all I want from you. I want that, right? If you giving it, you advertising it to me, let's do it. Let's roll with that. But you can't never be my woman, not ever. You can't spend a night. None of that other stuff. You dig what I'm saying? The other thing somebody mentioned about the women being expensive. I've told women to their face on date one, yeah, you too expensive for me. We're going to finish this date up and we're going to be done. Well, you said you work at, no. I'm not saying I can't afford you. I'm saying I choose to be smarter with my money than giving you $1,000 a month so you can look the way you look right now, because somebody got to fund that operation. You can fund it for yourself while you by yourself. But the reality is, if I'm going to be the man that I am, when you say it's time for me to go get my hair done and it's a couple $1,000s for you to get a reinstall, I ain't with it. I don't want to pay for that, because a couple $1,000, we can buy some municipal bonds or something. We can get rich. You know what I'm saying? Let's make this money, make some money. So I ain't got time for all that. You too expensive for me. You fun. And if you willing, on my way out the door, I'll take some, right? But I don't want to be with you. You're not my woman. You're not, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not trying to be with that. I'm not trying to lock down with that. The other thing that nobody brought up that I'm sure everybody agrees with me on is these young, beautiful women. We done dealt with everything else, with the makeup, with the exposure, how they dress and all that. But these young, beautiful women with tattoos on their necks, tattoos across their chests, tattoos all over their breasts. Do you not plan on making it to 60, 65 years old? You know what I'm saying? This is my thought when I see them. Do you like my no, I don't like tattoos like that. Because if I'm trying to be the man I'm trying to be, I'm trying to wake up with you in 40 years from now. I'm trying to wake up with you 20, 25 years from now. And I don't want to wake up with you with a thugged out tattoo on your neck. Baby, I can't do that. I don't want nothing to do with that. Now, if you lived a different kind of life or whatever, and you slid down a little bit on the pyramid and you want to get it removed, that's something I can put my money behind. You know what I'm saying? If I'm trying to keep you. Because here's the thing, I need a woman that when I walk into a boardroom and I sit down and say, this is so-and-so, you represent me. Can't have no damn neck tattoo and then shake somebody's hand and tell them my name. No, we ain't doing that. Just like I'm not going to look or act a certain way and go to your event and embarrass you. Like, they don't even be thinking about that. Like, it's just because it's so acceptable. And I ain't with it. And I think that's all I got. Yeah, because everybody else hit everything, so I'm good. I'm gonna shut it down.
Hey, Wizard, I don't want to say something what Jason was saying, man. With the job, right? Hey, yo, check this out. Hey, I know so many women that looked as beautiful during COVID time when they had the mask on. And they took the mask off and scared the shit out of me, bro. I didn't even know who they were. Motherfuckers was telling me, like, hey, you don't remember me? I'm like, who the fuck are you? She was like, we worked in a hospital and I had the mask. I don't even know you with that mask on. I don't even know you.
Mask back on.
Like, put your hands up like this. Oh, yeah, I remember who you are now. And then one more thing. This lady in the comments, her name Ashley Sims, she says, like, what is your health like? LOL. The thing is this, man. This go back to what we was talking about at the beginning. We not talking about what my health was like. We talking about how y'all had y'all health with all the bullshit. We didn't think nothing about my health. You know what I'm saying? You can be fat and wear makeup and wigs and eyelashes and all that shit trying to trick me. man. Hey, my health ain't got shit to do with it. You gotta take some accountability, man.
Damn. All right, let me just touch on a couple of things. We're gonna go around the board. Like I said, I don't want to keep y'all. We've been going about 2 hours, but the touch on when we were talking about that sundress. Well, the sundress was when they were younger. As they get a little older, it's called that moo. You know, they walk around there.
Damn, auntie, on that.
No.
I'm saying that moo. So, but the thing about it, you know what? They kind of pull it when they get up, cause you know ain't no panties on. So they like
That motherfucker biting. God damn.
we've been in high stand up in a minute, you know. And yeah, touch with like PM was saying, and some of us were saying about the no makeup. Now my lady, she doesn't wear anything. She wears a little lipstick from time to time, you know. So whatever she wears throughout the day, when she go to bed, wake up, you know, it's the same. You know, we talked about short hair and stuff like that. Now, I've been trying to put together a podcast with certain women with alopecia, but they don't really want to come on because you know that's they strong point. However, you see a lot of women now that's bald, and I'm gonna say this. You know, my lady's bald. You know, she has a head tat, and she gets a lot of compliments and a lot of attention. We in Vegas, and people looking at her, and I'm bald, and I tell her I'm not getting no matching one. I'm just letting y'all know that shit right. She went through hours of that shit getting that head tat, so she gets a lot of attention like that, you know. But I asked this one lady to come on, several ladies to come on, and one lady that doesn't have, you know, alopecia in her hair, however they may went bald or whatever, she say it's kind of like getting men to come on and say they have ED to have these women to come on and talk about alopecia, whatever. So I left it alone to the ladies that I had that wanted to come on and didn't bring it up no more about that or something like that. And then when Jason was saying about the women being too expensive but couldn't afford them, Seven will tell him in a minute he gonna take their ass to the park first. On the walk around, we ain't gonna eat them shit. We go to the goddamn park. And we gonna talk
hey, tell her let's go on a motherfucking hike real quick. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Hey guys, I don't want to hold y'all any much longer, but I'm gonna just say this, then we're gonna go around for closing comments. Guys, it is always a pleasure. You never know what you're gonna get in the barbershop. PM, you already know, all of us didn't been in there before. PM, you the one active full time, pretty much, I believe, in the barbershop. So you know the conversation is fucking crazy. So with that being said, I'm gonna come to you, PM, with any type of closing comments, and make sure you give your handles anywhere they can find you, merch, whatever you want to drop it for them.
Oh man, first of all, I want to thank you, Wizzo, for all the support you had on the channel, man, at the PM Lifestyle Podcast on YouTube. You're looking out. I want to thank Seven and them for coming through. Chocolate Buddha, man, you guys have been a real help to get, help me launch my podcast and everything I got going. So I want to thank you guys. And you can reach me on Instagram is Falon McKnight. On fan base is Falon. YouTube is YouTube.com/ at the PM Lifestyle Podcast. Facebook is Falon McKnight. Everything is PM, man. So I got some merch coming soon. So look out for that. You can get that on FalonMcKnight.com. And anytime you guys need me, man, reach out for me. I'll definitely be in the building for y'all anytime.
Yeah, no doubt. PM, man, we appreciate you also. We're gonna share it. I'm gonna make sure I hook you up with Jason, because Jason, I can tell you the guys right here now that's on, they're not gonna stiff you. If you send them that link, Jason sometimes it's kind of hard and kind of busy. And I send Jason a link just in case he can get on, but he will always let you know ahead of time if he can or can't. These are the guys right here that word is bond. So if you need to reach out to any of them, shit, by all means, hook up with them, because they definitely will be right there for you.
Appreciate it. Likewise.
All right. With that being said, let me come up to Seven. Seven, what you got on them closing comments?
I just want to say, ladies, let's stop trying to place the blame if we trying to talk to you about the situation, and let's really just work together, man. Because y'all, I don't know, man. The women, y'all just don't be one. If somebody bring you the problem, then you try to redirect it and just listen, take it in, digest it. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that you failed. You know what I'm saying? It's just constructive criticism, and it's not your worst enemy. God damn, it's not your enemy, man. We all just trying to grow and be better people. What's wrong with y'all out there? Why y'all don't want to be better women, man? Y'all just you happy with being who you are? You gotta grow. If you never grew, you'll still be crawling like a goddamn baby, man. Let's just do better together, man. Damn.
Hey, and just to touch base on what Seven has been on a number of Wizzo talk, y'all. I'm telling you, I met Seven in the hallway one time at work. We've been cool. We've been friends. When I send Seven a link and asked him if he wants some of the podcast, I already have his ass on the list. I just want to hear him to say, hell yeah, he sent me back. Hell yeah, shit, put me in, coach. So Seven always gonna bring the shit. That's all I'm gonna say. Appreciate you that, Seven, no doubt. All right, JP, what you got, man?
No, man, I enjoy it as usual. I always hate that we don't have more time. So 2 hours is never too long for me. It's not enough because I can sit around all day. You know, I go in the barbershop. But I appreciate you guys creating a platform, you know, for us where we can just get on here and we can have these kind of conversations. And personally, I don't ever keep the comments up because I'm okay with I'm more comfortable with having this conversation with the fellas, and then whoever's looking in is looking in. Because I like you say, my word is my word. I'm gonna stand on what I say, so I'm not worried about what's coming out of my mouth. But that just keeps me having a more stable foundation for the conversation, keep my thoughts and everything straight. So I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the opportunity every time I get it. Like I say, I'll be for sure available for the next couple of weeks, man. If anything pops up, y'all need me around, just give me a shout.
Right, that's what's up. And just to touch on Jason for a minute, Jason came on, I believe it may have been my second podcast, I think, I'm not sure. I launched it in Killeen because I wasn't streaming like this. So Jason drove down from San Antonio, whatever. And when I tell you, he didn't had no idea what the topic was. But we talked a little bit about 45. And when I tell you he shut that motherfucker down, it was me and Jason. It was two white guys, which I knew there was Trump lovers or whatever.
He pitted me against some Trump supporters by myself, right? I went in there swinging like a Lion King, man. It was over.
Mufasa, woo, say it again. Say, Jason turned that motherfucker out. I'm telling you, he had no idea. I was writing my notes down on paper. Now I'm keeping my questions on the phone. And when they didn't want to talk about the racist guy, I forgot his name, the white supremacist, they didn't want to say anything. Well, Jason said, well, I got something. And so he shut that mug down. I went out there and said, God damn, Jason. They ain't going to want to come back on no more. And before I go to OB, I'll tell you, it was us, and I don't remember the podcast, but we were on one. And when I ran it through AI and it made my shorts, the topic on that one was, can black people be racist? That short has done over 39,000 views on that little short clip right there. You know, I have a couple other ones that's then done 20,000, but I think that one right there then done. I haven't checked it in a few months, but the last time I checked it, it had done like 39,000 views. Can black people be racist? And I always refer people back to the full podcast because that's just a short. But you got to go back and watch the whole podcast. I can recommend that it's under my live section. But anyway, with that being said, that's the little history behind Jason. So let me go over here to Chocolate Buddha. And last but not least, Chocolate Buddha, go ahead. What you got?
Okay, I got three things. I'm going to try to make it quick. First and foremost, man, Wizzo, you're doing something that's for the culture and that's really needed, man. And brothers, it's always an honor to sit here and chop it up with y'all and laugh and crack up because we're not doing enough of this in the community, man. And be able to have this opportunity to talk and then go our separate ways and go to like PM and support Seven and stuff he's doing, and then the clandestine stuff Jason is doing, and I can't wait for it to come out. This is how we do it, bro. Every time you look in our culture that we came up, this is how it started. Ground level shit where we're doing shit for us, by us, together, and supporting us. So we got to keep doing that. Y'all know that I'm getting into the movie thing, doing stuff, and we got to support stuff at the lower level and at the higher level. And if y'all ever get a chance, if y'all read books, man, check out this dude, Bill Dukes. A lot of people don't know just how much he's done for the culture and still doing in the 80s. So check this brother out. Good book. I'm gonna put some other books down and read because I'm trying to follow in his footsteps. Last thing I want to say, and this is to the women. I don't know if Cree 2-1 Boom is still up there, but I'm speaking especially to you because you're from Chicago and you pretty and you got a lot of women following you. I'm putting a challenge out to all the women that follow you and follow Wizzo. I want y'all to go out, get your fingers and your toes done. Come home, take a big, nice, hot bubble bath. Get out the tub, take some Palmer's cocoa butter and slather it all over your body. After you do that, I want you to take a t-shirt, any shirt, put it on with no bra on. Then I want you to get some booty shorts. Put said booty shorts on, and then walk in front of your mate.
You finna get towed out.
It ain't gonna cost you a whole bunch of money, and I guarantee you, fucking action. That's all I'm asking. And I'm out.
Them ovaries ready.
Hell yeah. Hey, Chocolate Buddha, make sure you message me that book, man, because I already finished a couple of books and I'm looking for another one to start. I've talked to the guys about a couple of the books that I've read, like Tory book and some of the other ladies' books, and you guys with the movies, y'all make sure y'all check out Tory because I think she got some audition for some movie roles coming up, something like that. So
yeah, she does.
Y'all check that out. So and just one thing on OB, me and OB, we go way back. We used to work together in Iraq. We've been in touch. This goes way back to shit like 2006 or 7 or something like that. So we've been hanging tight for a long time, and he's always one that I can call on, and he's ready to get it. But before you go, Chocolate Buddha, and before I say the last thing, tell them about the monument. So I always like to touch on that one more time. So tell them about that out here.
Okay. This is Alibi Fire. April is Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month, and I'm working on a documentary called The Survivors Memorial. It is a memorial for the first and only memorial dedicated to survivors of sexual violence in the United States. It's the first of its kind. I'm doing a mini documentary for this month because of work and stuff, but I'm gonna try to do a full feature by October for Domestic Violence Month, and I'll keep y'all posted through Wizzo. I appreciate you giving me the shout out on that, but it's something that is near and dear to my heart, not just because it's the work that I do, but I lost a niece to sexual violence, and we gotta cut the shit out, regardless of how you feel about women or what they do. There's no reason for you to put your hands on a woman or take a woman's life.
Tell us where we can donate to that.
I'm gonna get that together and put it out right now. I'm not taking donations. I really appreciate that, Jason. But I will get something together. I'll let Wizzo know, and I got y'all contacts. I can let y'all know individually. Appreciate it, but it's definitely a passion.
Yeah, most definitely, because I watched a couple of the video shorts that you posted when you had some of the ladies out there talking and speaking on that. So I just always like to make sure that I touch base with that so you can put that information out there again. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming on Wizzo Talk to the fullest and everything that we share. We joke a lot, but we put out a lot of really good personal information, and we share a lot of us share some personal knowledge about what's going on. So with that being said, ain't nobody mad but the devil, and fuck him. So I'm just saying. This is
2 times. And that's why I got kicked out the church. I thought we hated that motherfucker.
Hey, since you mentioned that, Usher, lock the door. Lock the door, Usher. Lock the door.
Lock the doors. Lock the doors.
Hey, guys, this Paul Wizzo. Holla at your boy.